This is an obvious spoiler warning for Metal Gear Solid and Metal Gear Solid The Twin Snakes. Proceed with caution. You have been warned.
So welcome one and all to the first and hopefully not the only episode of Clever Boys Talk. Today I'm joined by my good friends and colleagues. I guess we can call ourselves colleagues. We've known each other for a couple of years.
Yeah, but we're not paid though.
You're paid by exposure bucks, motherfucker. You gotta start somewhere.
I do all the work.
I will trample you and you will enjoy it.
All right.
Anyways, we're here. We're doing our stuff. I'm presenting myself for the host for this episode. My name is Pablo. And next to me on my right is my good friend
Paco.
And to his right,
Pascal.
perfect. So today, we're three clever boys. We're going to talk about Metal Gear Solid, originally released on the PS1 back in October 3rd in Japan, 1998, and on October 23rd in Japan, in America, 1998. Okay, so gentlemen, before we start our discussion about Metal Gear Solid, tell me, before you actually played the goddamn game and I forced you to it, what did you know about Metal Gear?
Well, I knew it was kind of a dramatic rendition of some military stories.
Okay.
Kind of a weird Japanese, very sexually charged Tom Clancy. That's what I knew from it.
Well, Tom Clancy was sexually frustrated, so I understand your point.
Yeah.
That's why
yeah.
he's dead. If he's so good, why is he still alive, huh?
I guess.
Tell me, Clancy.
Wait, how is he making games though?
He's not. Ubisoft bought the license. It's like a name now.
Really?
Yeah, he's been dead since the first Splinter Cell or some shit. I don't remember.
Really?
I think so.
Yep.
know
Yep.
that.
Something
Please,
along those
please don't
lines.
fact check
Oh
me
my
on this,
God.
but I'm pretty sure he's been dead for a while.
Yeah, it's just okay.
And how about you?
What did I know about
Yeah,
Metal Gear?
before you started.
Nothing. Like all I knew is it's Snake. It's he's just like that dude, that motherfucker. The character of the game. He's just like strong.
Okay.
I don't know. That's all I knew about it. I mean, he uses guns.
I'm sure you've heard the good old classic Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Gear.
I thought.
Yeah,
I thought they stopped doing Metal Gear.
And honestly, that's what I think I love the most about the general populace of Metal Gear right now. People might not know what the fuck Metal Gear is. I've been a big fan for many, many years, and it always ends up into two categories. Either I say I'm a big fan of Metal Gear Solid, and people go, oh, that's cool, I know what it is, and it ends there. Or the second class of people, oh, what's that about? And then you start sounding like a goddamn lunatic when you're trying to explain what the fuck is going on in any of those games.
Yeah, because it's basically the JoJo's Bizarre Adventures of video game.
Yes.
In some extent, in some way, yes, because there is very flamboyant characters. We will get to that later,
Yes.
obviously, because we have a very extensive list of characters, which I hope you have been familiar with the names, because
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
the game will remember you their names. If you don't remember them, they will let you know. So now we're going to preface the fact that we have started the game in each individual consoles and differences. For me, own every single copy possible of Metal Gear Solid 1, except for probably the one that was supposed to be released on a Nokia mobile phone back in 2003. Because I don't have that kind of money, and because the game itself was scrapped before it was even released.
How much is it?
I don't want to know. I don't need this kind of info in my life. I do own a lot of copies of Metal Gear. I do
Please
not
put the price in the comments below so that
Please
Pablo
don't
sees
let
it.
me know. I don't. Please
And
do not
upvote
send
it,
me a link
upvote
to
it.
buy it.
So you even have the PC version and you don't even own a PC?
Yeah, I got it on GOG.
Oh, good.
Great discount.
Yep.
Wait, on GOG on what? Oh, because you got.
I don't own a PC, but I still have access
Yeah,
to
an
the website.
account. Yeah.
So I still have it.
All
Yeah.
right, all right.
So right now, I was playing in my original copy of the PS1 game on my PlayStation 2 using only the D-pad. I know that for both of you guys, Paco, you own the game already as well?
I own the version on the Retro Console Mini that they released a few years back.
Yes, that was one of the games bundled inside the 20 games or so that's inside the console.
Yeah, that and Wild Arms and some other games.
Well, that was pretty good. And you, Pascal, I wanted to offer you my original copy, and what did you tell me when I brought it to you?
Something along the lines of, like I don't deserve it, or it's like I don't want to. You have a good thing going, or something like that.
For my collection?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, because let's be honest, it's like the holy grail of your video games.
It is probably the only. If there's a fire, there's a lot of shit I would try to save, but basically I would save either
Yeah.
Metal Gear Solid 3, a family picture, probably Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
Because like I know the moment Kojima dies, which will happen eventually, you'll just enshrine that game and put some candles and start praying
Yeah.
to the video game gods.
Yeah.
That you're
Was
gonna
that
get.
his first game? I didn't check.
No, it wasn't.
Kojima's
Oh
first
no,
game was
because
a
he did like Metal Gear.
on the
Yeah.
MSX back
Yeah,
in 89 and all
MSX,
that.
yeah.
It's not even the first one in a series.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah, well, let's start with that. Actually, Metal Gear Solid is actually the third game in the series.
Yeah.
It is.
I
the-
know of the two other ones barely. Like, I know one of them was on a console close to the GBA or maybe.
No, not even.
No?
That would be Ghost Babel, and that was supposed to be a retelling of Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
But it turned out to be his own original story, which is actually extremely good, regardless of what it is. It's an 8 to 9 hour game, surprisingly for a Game Boy game, and the soundtrack is blessed. Now, for the Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2 games, the first one was made in the MSX back in Japan in 89, and it was released here in North America on the NES. Now, they're not the same games. For one single omission, the Metal Gear that we have on NES here in North America is not the same because there is no Metal Gear in Metal Gear.
Yeah.
The
which
the
is
titular
weird.
robot is not in the goddamn game. So
I did not know that.
on the original print of the NES game. However, when the games got reprinted for Subsistence, Metal Gear Solid 3, we got the MSX games.
Okay.
And then we had the Metal Gears and the actual story. Not only that, but when America released another, which is Metal Gear 2, Snake's Revenge,
Wait.
that is not a Kojima game. That was created by the United States. So when Kojima saw that, he was like, well, I'm going to make a real sequel then. And he made Metal Gear Solid. He made Metal Gear 2, Solid Snake, which is the one where it presents you a lot of more characters, including the one you guys met this time, which was McDonald Miller. His first appearance is in Metal Gear 2.
Okay, yeah.
Donald Miller.
Master Miller.
Oh, Master.
Yeah.
I wanted to
He-
talk about that.
He just shows up. His name is Master,
Yeah,
and he tells you.
I
the
didn't know
weirdest
his
fucking
real name
things.
was Master. Like his name is Master?
Well, no.
I didn't know that until the end.
His name is McDonald Miller, but he calls him Master the same way that
Oh.
Roy Campbell, he's called Colonel Campbell. His name isn't Colonel. You just call him Colonel. That's it.
Yeah, no, that I knew, but
Solid Snake, that's not his real name. You'll figure it out eventually, but it's not his real name. And for that extent, so we have the versions of the game. Pascal, since you didn't want to have the CD version, what did I give you instead?
well, the PlayStation Classic or whatever it's called.
Perfect. So this is the account we have right now. I played the original copy. You guys have both the second digital copies that existed on the PlayStation Minis. So, I know Paco, you're familiar with the controller of the PS1 because I think you had a PS1 when you were younger.
Well, I grew up around and adjacent to a lot of PS1s, but I did not own a PS1 until I was in late teenager, when I actually bought mine due to nostalgia.
And Pascal, you're the first time actually playing a game on the PlayStation 1, if I understand correctly.
Like truly playing it or
Actually playing it and trying to beat a game, yeah.
yes, absolutely. That's the first PlayStation 1 game I've ever played, or PlayStation game I've ever played.
Well, I guess we're not counting Final Fantasy VII, which you did try to start at some
right.
point. But
I was on Switch.
well, fair enough. I got ported into
Yeah, fair
everything.
enough.
Like
A port
fucking-
is a port is a port.
I-
It's still
yeah.
a PS1 game.
But I
ultimately.
didn't play that much though. Like,
I get it.
I played like maybe 8 hours of it.
But how did the controller feel? Did you feel okay with the touch, with the D-pad itself? Because I know you're more of a Nintendo boy with the D-pad itself and buttons, triangle, square, circle, X. Are you okay with
I
all
hate
those?
that shit. Like the button scheme. Well, no, I mean, the signs on it. The fucking
The
square, the X,
Yeah.
That's dumb. I hate that. I
Well,
don't like it.
it's not dumb, actually. The history of it is that X is to say no, circle is to
Yeah,
say
but
yes.
sometimes it's yes.
Square is to punch, and triangle is to always go first person. And that's how it was created intendedly in the
Fine.
beginning.
I get that.
In Japan. But here
But-
we accept with X.
Sometimes X is yes. It's accept. Yeah.
Here in North America. In
Oh.
Japan, it's always been circle. It only
more
changed
sense.
recently with the PS5. And Japan got mad. Because now everyone accepts with X instead of circle.
What? Okay, I thought it.
It
Went
never say
back.
Never.
Okay, that's so.
It took until now to change it for the PS5.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean,
I need some time
we-
to process this.
No, you
we
don't.
have a tendency
fine, we
with a
don't
lot of
have time.
consoles is that's one of the biggest things I have. I'm a fairly big console player, and
Same.
one of the biggest thing that I found with standardized and not the weird Nintendo consoles, such as the GameCube controller, which was comfortable but quite a mess, or the N64, which was out there.
It's garbage.
It's okay.
it's raw
No,
garbage.
It's
the
okay if you
joystick
don't have
was
to
raw
use it.
I
garbage.
didn't want a Super Nintendo controller with a dildo on it. Thank you.
Look, man,
Well, I did.
Good for
I
you.
enjoyed that controller. My controllers, the joystick, aren't broken because I didn't play fucking Mario Party on them, so they're fine. But ultimately,
Yeah, I didn't have friends either.
we have the experience of, as you know, North Americans, that most of the time the button that will say okay or yes or accept will be the lowest one. And when you end up on an Asian system, it tends to be the one on the right.
Wrong. Dreamcast. The Dreamcast was the lower button, and that was a
That's true.
Japanese, and it killed it. Even the Saturn had the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I really, really don't like that. Except is the bottom button of the lot.
But see, that's the thing. Nintendo has it on the side as well, and
Yeah.
he's not happy about the circle button. It's the same fucking button.
It is the same button.
It's the same button.
Yeah.
Now, don't forget that it was the Nintendo PlayStation
No,
before it changed.
I-
the mapping is exactly as a Nintendo controller would be.
No, exactly. So I was getting to that. So in Metal Gear Solid,
Yeah.
it's good. I liked it.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't like it in general,
okay.
You got
fine,
us,
but
you
we
got
got
us.
a
You got
discussion out of it.
All right.
So,
all right.
so yeah. So the button scheme, I didn't like it in general, because in the PS Classic,
Yeah, the main menu.
it's the main menu. It's X to accept, and I'm like,
Okay.
like what accept? I hate that shit. What the fuck is that? And then in the game it was circle to accept, so I was fine with that. That was perfect. That was blessed.
Okay.
Loved it. Appreciated that. But the D-pad.
Yeah.
D-pad at first was bad. It was bad. I didn't like the controls, but then. Actually, I have written something about that.
Go for it if you have notes for that. I mean,
Yeah, go for it.
because the D-pad, on my perspective, because I played a lot of PS1 games, I used to have one when I was a kid. It's you look at it and you're like, okay, I only have 4 directions. Nah, son. If you know how to maneuver your thumb, you can have 8 directions on that shit.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as I've noticed
Yes.
through the movements so far in that game, is that the D-pad kind of reacts a bit like a trackpad.
Yes. Yes.
As long as you're pressing on it and you're kind of moving around the arrows that are separate, since they're separate, they're taking a lot more input than a solid piece of plastic.
Yeah, I must say it kind of felt like a joystick.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes. So I kind of liked it in the end. But like what I said I've written was not about the D-pad, but it applies. So this will come back later.
Oh, by all means.
It was awful, but then I noticed it was kind of okay, and then it became worse. And then it was okay, but frustrating. And then it was good.
Okay, so we're gonna jump right into it then. So once you boot up the game, you see the Konami logo. You hear a little jingle of the song that's starting, which is a jingle from another game.
Right?
That's from Police Knots, the other
Yep.
game that Kojima made before
Oh.
this one. It's only Japan exclusive. We never got it. Please bring it out, please.
which is hilarious because in
got
the
Snatcher.
context of that game, it's a TV show.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's yeah.
Yeah,
it's
you see it in game
it's-
as a TV show.
okay. Wait, yeah. Let's not get. Let's not.
Whoa,
let's
whoa,
not.
what?
Let's not jump to
Yeah.
ourselves. But yes,
But
you're
whatever,
correct.
look,
you're correct.
I just
you're
have
correct.
to say it.
we'll let him know when we get there. But yeah, so the jingle is for Police Knots, another game he made before that on the PS1, only exclusive to Japan. Then, I want to know, did you guys skip the cutscene?
What cutscene?
After the jingle, there's a cutscene that starts.
At first, no. After that, yes.
Cool. First time?
I listened to the whole thing. I let it
Every
go
time.
through. Not every time. I mean, I've never actually closed the console. It's just kind of always open in the background.
Fair enough.
I keep the save file in case I need to unplug it, but otherwise I don't boot up the game again. I just stop where I need to stop.
Yeah, cool. So, what did you remember for that actual opening?
Ultimately, it was a huge exposition dump as to why you're going to Alaska underwater with some chemicals in your blood to prevent you from freezing, and you got to stop some terrorist group who ultimately took over a station that probably has some undercover research. We don't get the details at first, and they sent in an old retired guy who's supposed to be a legend in the spy works, and then you basically realize that this game is not going to be an action game at all. It's going to be a pure stealth game, and they're going to shoot you a bunch of scientific mumbo jumbo at you, some pseudoscience, and it's going to be fantastic.
Hey, they said it. It's an SOP.
And the
On-site
thing
procure.
is one of the biggest thing that struck me at first is the voice acting in this game is look, the sound is fantastic. I'm playing a remastered version, so of course it's going to sound good, but ultimately, the voice acting sounds great.
Yes.
Very crisp, very emotional. God, is it full of ham and cheese.
Yes.
Jesus Christ, are they going over the top all the time?
And I love it. Because let's not forget that back in 98, what we had elsewhere was Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Die, you monster. Or Resident Evil. Wow, what a mansion. So you have a bunch of stuff trying to go in-engine and trying to show cutscenes and display movie-like textures with the shittiest fucking dialogues possible.
Yep.
And then you have Metal Gear, which is a mastodon of almost voice acting, with a bunch of people not crediting themselves. You can actually see the opening game, the opening title screen, all the voice actors except for our main protagonist. The name of the protagonist, go.
Solid Snake.
Yes. Solid Snake, voiced by David Yater. The only one that doesn't change his name. Otherwise, every single other person, fake names.
Really?
Yeah.
But honestly, the performance is a bit cheesy, but I don't think
pretty
it's
good, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's worthy of hiding your
Well,
name.
that was
over
the
it.
I've seen anime in this day and age that were
Yeah.
like worse.
Yeah.
And the
It
thing
is.
is that back in the days, I think it was because you were a freelancer, kind of like the comic books. You didn't want to show your real name. You just didn't want to get attached to projects. So
You know, like J.K. Rowling kind of thing
I
situation.
guess so. People didn't want to
No,
have
that
that
was-
kind of connection.
That was something else.
David Yater was known or starting to get known screenwriter in Hollywood, so he didn't care. He just kept his name. He was born in Canada. He got raised in Japan in Kobe. Learned Japanese. He could talk to Kojima because he knew the language. He believed in the script somehow. He found it funny, but he still believed in it. And he's the only one who wasn't scared of putting his name on that. And you know how that paid off? Great.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely.
So props on him. And
Did it pay for him?
money wise, yeah, and he's still a big fan of it. I mean,
Was he always the voice of Snake or Solid Snake? I mean,
not until the end in 2014, 15 when he was changed for Ground Zeroes and Phantom Pain. It was then at that point Kiefer Sutherland, the Hollywood actor.
What's your opinion about that?
I don't mind it.
Because okay, I would like to
Like
say
to make a small tangent about Metal Gear 5 here is that it's, for what it's worth regarding the story itself, I understand the change of the character voice, the voice actor at that point, because it makes sense story-wise. If it was for anything else, meh, I don't care. And to be honest, ever since Metal Gear Solid 1, unlike the other guys in the crew, David Hayter is the only one that has to repass an audition every single time. He wasn't even supposed to be in Metal Gear Solid 3. Kojima wanted Kurt Russell to play Snake, which is the biggest reference to Escape from New York. Which, going back to the opening itself of Metal Gear Solid 1, the opening is a clear and one-per-one recreation as max as it can about Escape from New York. It's basically a guy called Snake Plissken coming back from retirement because the government needs him to save the president lost in New York City, which has become a maximum security prison. So he's sent on an SOP mission on a plane to land on the Twin Towers. It was in 97. The story happening in 97. We're sorry about that.
Yep.
So he lands on the Twin Towers and he has to find the president because he has 24 hours before they launch a nuke and destroy the rest of the United States. It's the same exact opening.
Yeah, pretty much.
But in
word
this-
for word.
But in this time, Solid Snake is infiltrating inside the Alaskan Bering Sea to infiltrate Shadow Moses Island to stop the Special Unit Foxhound, which is comprised of very colorful characters, and to stop everything before they launch nuclear capabilities in the next 24 hours. Because they're asking for something in return, which is millions of dollars and one specific object.
Yep.
Which we'll discuss about later because it's crazy they're asking for that kind of object.
I mean, yeah.
You mean-
Ultimately, it is mentioned in the intro opening.
And to some extent, it is mentioned, but why
Can
is
I
it
mention
mentioned?
it
We don't
now?
know.
Can I mention it now? You mean the I just want to make it clear.
Go for it. Yeah, mention it. Fuck it. I don't care.
Yeah, you mean the remains of Big Boss, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Which, in context of what I know from the prequels, from the NES that we already talked,
Yeah.
was pretty much a character you played, if I'm not mistaken.
No. Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2, you
Was
play
he
as-
the final antagonist?
He's
then?
the final
Yeah,
antagonist
okay,
in
yeah,
both
yeah.
games. And in both games, the first one, you killed him by destroying the Metal Gear, which somehow he survived, because somehow Palpatine returned.
Of course.
Then on
No,
that-
we don't talk about Palpatine's
And
return.
then Metal Gear 2, you have a face-to-face fight with him, and you eventually use a canister and a lighter, and you just set the motherfucker on fire. And that's how you beat that boss fight,
Yeah.
because it removes every single weapon on you, which is further mentioned later on in the story.
Okay, because I knew that. I just didn't remember who you killed that way.
It was Big Boss.
Because I think I watched a YouTuber that played the game through and through, because it was just, there's a certain era of video game that I love the storytelling, but I have a hard time with the gameplay. Like
Oh yeah.
the
Some
old
people
sprite work
can
with
go
the-
back to
It's the old sprite work with moon logic. Eventually, I'm like, look, this story is great. I will give credit to the game, and at that time, it was the standard. But at this point, nah, I'm not going back. No
Well,
fucking way.
that's why I can't go back to Sierra games on computer like King's Quest and all that garbage.
Yeah, no, I get
cannot,
it.
I cannot lose
I get it.
hours clicking and clicking on a pixel perfect shit to go somewhere. Fuck you. I got places to be. I got money to waste. I got no love to get. So I have to do something else. Point is, Metal Gear.
Yes. we're back on track.
So once we have seen the cutscene, we know what's happening. We saw the homage. We are dropped into the title screen. So what do we see on the title screen? Colors and press start. Normal classic stuff. If you fumble around with the D-pad, the colors will be changing in the background before you even press start.
What?
And if you wait long enough, Snake blinks a couple times on the screen, which is completely unnatural for a video game at that time. You would normally have just a character there standing like Sonic or all those people. So there it is. You press start, and first thing you do when you press start is what? When you get to the main menu.
Oh, read the story log or not.
Exactly, my
Yeah.
boy. You read the story log if you want to catch up on what the fuck is Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, because we never got those games here back in the day.
Oh, you mean the first time?
Yes.
Oh, wait, did I? Yeah, I did.
Yes.
I did.
And then, if you look around in the menus, because I'm that kind of bitch, I love to fumble around in the menus the same way I do with DVDs, you go into the briefings. And you get the perfect briefing about the whole situation of the mission before you even start. Now tell me, boys, which one of you motherfuckers did it?
Well, I read the text at the beginning, but I didn't fuck around in the menus to find the briefing.
I refuse to answer.
Okay, so let's see. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 6 pages regarding the briefing in my notes. So I'm gonna do this real quick. Because
Yeah, 6 pages
Go
real
off.
quick.
Go
I don't want to be enamored. It's
I'll
small
put-
pages. It's small
I'll
pages.
put the timer in front of you,
That's what she said.
just to make you feel bad.
Yeah. So, the briefings. Now, the first one is the operation outlines. It's the same one that we saw in the opening. It's a storm that is impossible for you to be inserted in air. So there's no way for you to halo jump inside the Shadow Moses Island, and they will find you if you are halo jumped through the weather. So you're sent in, infiltrated in a one-man tank submarine as an SOP mission. Again, it's an on-site procure mission. You don't have any rights to have any weapon. In case they catch you, they'll be able to not interrogate you or anything. You won't have anything on you. So they're trying to launch and to have demands for the nuclear weapons because they have sent the demands to the United States 5 hours ago. They said they were going to launch a nuclear weapon 30 or 38 hours into the future. So already you're losing enough time to get there. You had the briefing, you're at the briefing, you're already losing another 3 hours in the story. So Snake is smoking in the nude while he's getting that information. So Colonel Campbell tells him that the United States is aware of the situation, the president knows what's happening, and it's a procure site only mission that no one else has to know except for the people in the room. In the room is Colonel Roy Campbell, his ex-military colonel for Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2, Dr. Naomi, and Solid Snake. Again, buck naked. So, He stole the information. These two tell him about the support group that will be helping him and assisting him throughout the codec, which is Natasha Romanenkov, the nuclear expert unit specialist, and Mei Ling, the one who creating your Solid Town radar and the performance issues that you have with the codec inserted inside your inner ear. So unlike Metal Gear 1 and Metal Gear 2 where you had a dispatch radio that you had to attach on your ear, this time it's inside your inner bone and it stimulates the inner bone inside. So no one else can hear you. And when you speak, I guess it pick up your voice. That had on a quick side, the codec, I'm pretty sure you have a question regarding, okay, I see two pictures and I hear people talking.
Yep.
Can they see each other?
They sure seem like they can.
Yeah.
My canon answer and my head canon answers are both fumbling every single time. My canon answer is that no, they cannot see each other. You can imagine what they look like in your head, what it's happening. My headcanon version is that Snake somehow has something on his wrist that it can watch as a monitor at the same time as a Solid Town radar.
But there's a couple of instances where that would not work.
But that's what
Mei
I mean.
Ling did that at some point, and she like if he could see him or she could see him.
Well,
he could see her. I mean,
again, I can explain that because there is a few more things in cutscenes and then codecs that I can actually for that. So,
when I said that, I mean she winked. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
but I have to agree with you that it would make sense if you had an external apparatus that he could be able to fumble around with, because that's how it's represented in menus, and it's been like that since that game.
yeah,
Because I knew a bit more about Metal Gear than Pascal here for a couple of reasons, because I've played Metal Gear 5.
Ground Zeroes and Phantom
Yeah,
Pain.
and I've also played the absolute butchering massacre that was Metal Gear Survive.
We don't talk about that, please.
Yeah, I know. It makes you sad.
Makes me a lot of things, but probably not sad.
Yeah, okay. So, but those were always there as a visual reference, which I understand it's just a lot more pleasing for people, but they didn't have to go that way, and the way that you fumble around the menus seems like you're pressing legitimate buttons in-game, in-universe.
Yeah. Because it's also the fact that in some cutscenes you see Snake just going into the prone or crouch position and just activating the codec. So he could be either visualizing something in the back or just checking his Solid Town. Because where is the Solid Town radar? I don't imagine it being a sort of portable radio like the iDroid from Metal Gear Solid 5.
No, but at this point, they could have not mentioned it, but it could be an eye implant.
I don't believe that. No, that's not a possibility because
He has a point though.
No, the eye implant itself, it's more of an eye patch, and that is the Metal Gear Solid 4.
Okay.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that the eye implant cannot be used where his eye wasn't there anymore.
No, he has...
Because at that point, the technology that they have... Look, we're going on a tangent
We're
here,
going on
but
a fucking
still.
tangent, so we're just...
But ultimately, I'm going to have to say this. Like, at that point in the game where he has his eye patch, because God knows what happened to his eye. Something happened. I mean, he's military. He's probably lost an eye.
Shit happens.
But ultimately, the technology that they're at that point would not prevent them from just plugging in a thing that stimulates the nerve that's still there. It's not because the oculary thing is no longer there that they can't use the same technology.
Granted, I understand that. Yep.
Yeah, that was it. So, yes, codec. Let's keep going.
So, at the operation members, as I told you before, Colonel is there. He was brought out from retirement. Why is he there? Snake asks, what the fuck you doing here, man? You're as retired as I am, even more. Easy. I have someone very particular to me that is inside Shadow Moses. His niece. So,
Meryl.
you're sent to also check for his niece called Meryl.
Sorry.
We already have the name, so we're just going to use it now from now on. So we have to find Meryl.
Yep.
She was there before the revolution was made by the Genome soldiers, before Foxhound decided to just take over the fucking island and go berserk on it.
Yeah.
And then the nurse, which is not a nurse, scientist, Dr. Naomi, tells you what you have in your body, which is a pretty fucked up cocktail when you think about it.
Oh, yeah, no, this does not look good for your inner
Now,
system.
according to what I have wrote here, it is an injection which has nanomachines, anti-freezing peptides, avoids blood loss, body fluids from freezing under subarctic temperatures. So you basically have antifreeze in your fucking body, like tomatoes.
Yeah.
After that, you also have a supply of adrenaline, of nutrition, sugar, and you have something that calms your amino acids in your stomach. So you won't eat yourself, so you don't have to worry about food. So you have the rations to heal yourself, but you don't need to eat them necessarily to, get your stomach right. You also have a nootropic that improves cognitive functions, boosts your mood, executive functions, attention, memory, creativity, and motivation.
Okay, so is that why you don't eat?
Yes.
But you forgot one important detail that you have in your body. A very important detail.
Amphetamines.
No. We mentioned the codex. We mentioned the...
I'm getting there.
Okay,
Because
okay,
of the
okay.
amino acids. So, you also have benadryl and amphetamines, which is responsive and helps you get alert for 12 hours. So he's basically boosted on amphetamines.
Yeah.
And they also want to confirm the nuclear launches. So since his stomach and everything else is pumped up and ready to go, Snake has sneaked inside his own asshole or probably his own throat a pack of cigarettes.
Yep.
Why? Because we never know.
And honest
You
to
gotta
God...
love the ciggies, man.
The Siggies. Look, we're going to get into the more nuanced mechanics of this game in a second, but the cigarettes. There's just something.
Yes.
Okay.
It heals you
Then the briefing of
from
the
the
detailed mission.
inside.
As a smoker, I can tell you it does exactly the opposite.
Exactly as intended.
So in the detailed mission of the briefing, you get the information you will get later on. You have to both contact and reach the DARPA chief and also Kenneth Baker, the arms tech president.
Yep.
So they're both on the island doing some God knows what somewhere where the two biggest people on Arma and tech department is there. We don't know. We have to figure it out. So then afterwards, we'll get the information regarding the 6 Foxhound members that went rogue. This includes the gallery of... Give me a name, baby. Give me one name. There's 6 of them.
There's Revolver Ocelot, I think.
Revolver Ocelot. Give me another name.
Sniper Wolf.
Give me another name.
Of course, Solid. Solid Snake. Yeah, you're Liquid, right? No, I'm so confused. There's too many snakes.
We have
does
Liquid
that to you.
Snake and Foxhound.
It does that to you. Vulcan Raven.
Vulcan Raven.
And then, what was his name? God damn it. He attacks you fairly early on in a very unexpected fight. He kind of is a shaman-looking motherfucker.
That was Vulcan
No,
Raven.
it was Vulcan
Okay,
Raven.
no, just never mind then.
It was the tank dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a whole thing.
Come on, 2 more
Come
people.
on, it's fucking Psycho Mantis.
Psycho Mantis
Yes.
and the last member of Foxhound.
That
So we got Liquid, we have Sniper Wolf, we have Vulcan Raven, we have Psycho Mantis.
I said Sniper Wolf as well.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And we mentioned
we have-
Ocelot as
Yeah,
well.
we have Revolver Ocelot. The last remaining motherfucker that you guys are excused as fuck to forget is Decoy Octopus.
Wait, who?
What? Who the fuck is Decoy Octopus?
Oh, my boys, you will know.
Oh boy.
Okay, so that's okay. So we had everyone
No.
that we saw.
Yes. No, you saw them. You saw him. You all saw Decoy Octopus.
No.
I refuse to believe that.
No. So, yes, those are the people. And after Resurgency and the Revolution, they started to call themselves the Sons of Big Boss. Big Boss being known as the greatest warrior of the 20th century.
Okay. So the son of Big, the
Sons
sons,
of Big Boss.
Okay, so
Because, okay.
I got so many questions. Now.
Yeah, because in the briefing it is mentioned that all the genome people, the soldiers inside the base, have genome therapy inside them, and it's based on the molecular basis that creates the perfect soldier, which is replicated from the DNA of Big Boss. Therefore, calling themselves the Sons of Big Boss.
Okay, so that's why I'm. Tell me if I'm jumping the gun here. So that's why, or maybe there's more to it. Liquid Snake calls him brother.
This will be answered in Disc 2.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, it was just.
to be completely honest, from what I got from the first game, I will not make references from things that I've learned in Metal Gear 5, which brings a lot of details to this game, which I feel enriches the experience, to be honest. Because to keep in mind, 5 is a prequel. It happens way
Before Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2.
Yeah, exactly. So if ever you want to spend some time going completely insane over this game, play the 5th game. It's something. It's also an, career-ending game. But ultimately,
All right.
from what we learned, they want the remains of Big Boss that we already know from the briefing, and they call each other brother, and they basically mention Big Boss as being their father, and that something happened to Big Boss, which we mentioned. He was burnt alive with a
Body was
canister.
severely burnt, but kept his cells.
Yeah, basically. So at that point, you kind of have to understand that these people pretty much see this themselves as literally his son, as the name literally means, but it might be more literal than that.
Yeah, I mean, solid and liquid looked like one another.
Yeah, I mean the whole fact that they're literally spitting image with different hairs of color. That's
Well, actually, that is also explained in the briefing. So, during the insurgent and the revolution that happened with the Sons of Big Boss, some other people from Foxhound came over to do some mental testing on them to verify if everything was good before the revolution, just to see, are they all mental sound? Are they okay? Are they? And here's the ticker that I really love. All the soldiers tested with 180 IQ. Now, when you've been playing the game and you've been sneaking around and you've been doing the shit you've been doing, do they look like men and probably women who have 180 IQ?
absolutely not.
What the fuck kind of information is this in the briefing? These are not 100. If you play on hard like I do, yes, they're 180 IQ. They can spot you from the other side of the map. They can know where you are. They will shoot you down with 2 bullets and your whole life is dead. So, yes, I guess on normal, on hard. On normal, no. On easy, come on.
I mean, I played the game on normal because I've learned through the years of playing retro games that they tend to be a lot harder than what we're used to.
And by the way, I really don't mind on which difficulty you played it.
Yeah,
I mean, I just want people to play the game.
And I also feel like as I get older, look, I'm a fucking Dark Soul fan as well. I like hard games for the hard game's sake and the whole experience. But as I get older, I also understand that, normal is also the intended experience most of the time.
Not necessarily. Well, yeah.
Most of the
some
time.
Yeah,
games,
I
to some
started my
games.
sentence before you were done.
Like, some games are meant to be harder, and that brings in a whole level, and some games literally lock content behind difficulty walls. Like, if you don't play certain difficulties, you literally can't do a level, you won't meet a boss, you won't get a part of the story, or you won't get the true
I
ending.
respect that.
Which
Good.
I do not believe, I am not aware, haven't finished the game yet, do not believe that the difficulty will change anything in the game other than how it's played.
Yeah, pretty much. It's how the AI reacts to you and all that stuff, and the bullet sponges. The classic thing from the older games. Now, after that fact, we get the mention about Liquid Snake, because Roy Campbell gives a picture of Liquid Snake to Solid Snake, and he's like, what the fuck am I looking at? So, the only information we have is codename Liquid Snake. He's the SIS youngest member. He was part of the Iran War. No one has his real name. They know that he looks exactly like Solid Snake. He's possibly a twin. Is not genetically engineered or confirmed. He might be in his late 30s. We don't know that for sure as well. And his skin color and hair is different because all the time he's spent in the desert.
And accent.
So his hair is fully he was born in the UK as well.
All right.
So his hair is fully bleached because of the sun. He was tortured in prison for a couple years, so his skin is a bit darker because of that as well. And we don't know much about him. He was recruited into Foxhound, and he got himself to prestige level to get the code Liquid Snake, which to that part, Solid Snake responds, I thought they stopped giving code names to people. Because Foxhound stopped that after the insurgents in Zanzibar land in Metal Gear 2. So he gets the picture, he sees it, that's the end of the briefing. And as an extra, if you've seen every single briefing part, Snake asks Naomi if he can borrow a couple scissors. Because his hair is as long as Liquid's at the moment before the start of the mission. So when you see actual art of Snake, you can see he has a weird fucked up mullet and weird distancing hair in brown shape.
Yep.
That's because he chopped it off himself in the submarine looking at a mirror. So his hair is like a really caca cut that he made himself.
Damn. Okay, so that's gonna be itchy for the rest of the fucking mission.
That's why he wears a bandana.
Fair enough.
That's
Yeah.
the only reason.
Well, that and sweat in your eyes, because he's doing a lot of heavy lifting.
He's
in
doing
this
a
game.
lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like that. So when the briefing is now completed, like I did, what do you do next?
I mean, you literally
Exactly. You do the VR missions. There's VR missions in the menu for you to train and get ready for the first mission.
There.
Oh no, I went
did
full
not.
on fuck my ass
That
moment.
is basically the tutorial of the game.
I did not check the menu at all. I usually do, but
What
I was
menu?
like,
Why
I
is there a
want to
menu?
play the game. So the first thing was press start to play the game. So that's
Well,
what I did.
I think you have to understand now, and you will get what I'm trying to tell you, is that you have to play the game from every single angle, including from the box angle. There's a lot of things you have to do on the box and on the game.
I know.
So if the VR missions are very simple, 10 missions containing training stages. You learn how cameras work, how enemy work, how the floor can be spring loaded, how the certain floors can have noises that can interact with enemies, like the snow or the noise around, and just how to handle the whole thing. When you finish all 10 missions, you're good to go, and you can start the story. So, and there's a special Easter egg when you've done all the VR missions, but we'll get to that later as well. Okay, so when all that shit is done, so when you've done all that, you go on to new game, you start, slight difficulty, and baba booey. Bob's your uncle. What's the cutscene you get?
I mean, ultimately, you get a cutscene where you walk into a warehouse through the water. What I guess, which is weird. You're like kind of in a cave, so I guess it was always a submarine access.
It's unclear, but I think you can have a boat in there, so like a normal speedboat of sorts.
Yeah, but at the same time, when you look at how he gets there, it looks like he's going through a tunnel.
Well, the thing is, it's a dock. It's a dock area, so they have when he's in the submarine, you can see they put mine traps and lasers so they can alert each other. So normally, I think it would just be a speedboat or a boat to bring in food and nourishment for those kind of people over there, and bring disposed nuclear warheads because of the SALT and the NATO nations and all that stuff. So they have to bring it there.
Yeah,
and the only way to bring that kind of stuff is by water, not by air.
Okay, yeah,
the treaty does. I've read it because I had nothing else to do in Insomnia. The treaty does stipulate they have to move nuclear weaponry used by water. You cannot bring it by air because something could happen.
Yeah, I mean, if the plane crash, it's gonna blow big time.
Well, no. Did you know that currently, right now, at this particular moment, there's 256 warheads that the United States don't know where they are. During the Cold War, there have been planes that have been shot down, and they have no clue where the fuck they are.
Wait, shut down in the United States?
No, outside the United States.
Okay.
Because back in the Cold War, they would just, fly over. They would have a nuclear missile just in case or anything in case of a war.
Okay.
And then they would shoot down the planes.
So there's like 20-ish warheads.
226 possible warheads that we don't know where they are.
200.
To this day.
Okay, so
That
I
is
misheard.
terrifying.
It is extremely terrifying.
Yes.
You think about kids just falling on a mine. No, they could find a fucking nuclear missile.
That's not good.
Yeah.
That's plain
That
negligence.
makes me think of Adventure Time. I don't know if you watched it.
Yeah, it's something that could simply keep you up at night.
Yeah.
So, Snake pulls out of the dock. He's in the water, and as you can see, my two gentlemen, I have a map of what I did exactly on that particular moment.
I kind of get what you.
Yeah. This map looks nothing like what I did.
Let me see that.
Yeah, so for the
I won't
people
read
listening
shit, but-
right now, it's just a small map of the dock where we see the staircases, the place, the elevator, and this is where you learn the first steps of the game, that the game will punish you because of sound around the area.
Oh yeah, big time.
Did any of you walk on the puddle of water?
I
what?
did not.
There's a
crawled
puddle
the
of
whole
water.
way.
No, I did not. Also, the first time I went through it, I did exactly that. So props to me, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, no, pretty good. Pretty good.
But I also did not do that in the end. I was like, fuck these items. I don't want to die anymore. I went another route.
Okay, so that's my follow-up question.
Okay, so what I did personally is I went absolutely not in that way, and I actually, yes, I stepped into the water, but the way that it worked out is I alerted the guards, and then fucked off on a different direction, and it didn't see where I was, so I made the guard move around instead of using the safe path.
Okay, all right.
And then I got every single item because I'm a freak like that.
That's good. We need one of those.
Now, did I get every single item since then? I got most of them, I believe. There's one part in particular that we're going to talk about.
We're going to
that
enjoy
has-
talking about it.
That
The
made me
warehouse?
go, no, don't you dare.
Beautiful
but,
thing called
yeah.
the Armory.
Oh, the
Which should be your favorite room in the whole game.
Yes.
I kind of
mean,
liked it actually. It was like a mini game.
Well, that's the thing. The thing is that I, through the a bunch of games that I've played, I feel like I've been caught in the good old classic FOMO, fear of missing out.
Yep.
So I will do everything in my power to get every single item, and then I realized very quickly that Metal Gear will punish you dearly if you think you'll get everything.
Oh yeah, and they will give you the fucking items after you beat the boss.
Yeah.
Like no one will be in that area, and you will be able to get those without without hassle.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I noticed that as well
Yeah.
fairly quickly and stopped doing that because usually I try to get all the
This is
items.
perfect. I love
I
it. I love it. I love
I
it.
was a little too afraid of missing out, and I just gathered all the items with the enemies and the traps and the everything in the fucking way.
And then everything you took was like, oh, maxed out.
Everything
you
was
don't
maxed
need
out at
full,
all time.
Full.
Love it.
So
Love it. This is exactly what I wanted. This is exactly what I wanted.
I am so afraid of running out of resources in
Hey,
this
Yes.
game. I am a pack rat. I
Hey,
don't
FOMO
know
and
where
no
this
CD.
I
keeps
never
everything.
missed any. I never missed an item ever. I never missed a fucking bullet. Like okay, sure.
There were moments I, did
missed
not
some
regret
SOCOM
my
bullets.
decisions.
Like, I did not have enough SOCOM bullets at some point. Fine, I had a fucking FAMAS.
Oh yeah, no, I
fine.
never ran out of bullets. Not even once.
Okay. Buckaroo, we'll get to the bosses. Don't worry about it. So in the
once.
dock, before you start sneaking around, you get a cutscene
Yep.
between a Gmon soldier and a particular guy with the blonde wig hair.
Mm-hmm.
He says, and I quote in the most weird, fucked up British accent I've ever heard, because clearly Cam Clark is not a British guy.
Yep.
He just goes, "I need to squatter down some butter, some flies," and just does it away.
Yep.
And he just goes. He fucks off into somewhere. So you yourself have to fuck your way into it, get to the elevator, wait for the elevator to come down, because that's real time. That's real time, baby. You have to wait for
Yep.
it. And then you climb up. And then you see a striptease scene of Snake getting rid of all his gear. And baba booey, you see the title screen, Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah. And then you get another massive exposition dump because this game really loves doing that. But the thing is that it's so out there that it's very enjoyable. I would see myself getting bored in other games of this exact behavior.
Yep.
It would just make me angry to no ends. Because it'd be like, just shut the fuck up. But this game gets you so frustrated at times due to a bunch of mechanics that I did not know because I was a retard and didn't look at the fucking menu.
Like what?
Such as the good old classic leaving footprints in the snow.
That never was a thing for me.
It happened to me 3 times.
How does that work?
If you walk and you leave footprints on
Here.
the snow,
The snow right here.
Oh, that's no.
Yeah.
Never went there.
Not me neither. I can see here. Just went for the shaft grenades, went for the 2 objects here, came back.
I went all the way up where the snow was and then got fucked in the ass 3 times. And then I figured out a way to use that to my advantage because I love using the AI more than anything else. And then I went the whole way around, hid into a truck, got a gun, then opened the door, then got some grenades. And then I tried getting the searchlight grenades. And I did once. And then I went, I really don't want these things again.
Yeah,
They're just really annoying. In the middle of that map, there are 2 searchlights sweeping.
Oh.
And there's an item in the middle.
Yeah.
And that, my good sir, made me want it to no ends. And then when I got it, I was so disappointed that I went, I don't care.
Couldn't you just use a shaft or?
No, that's exactly what he's getting there. He's getting the first shaft of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a learning experience.
Yeah. And I was just like, no, this grenade is not worth my time.
It is.
love it.
It is. You just don't get it yet. You just don't know it.
It's a speedrun strat.
It's like Rick and Morty. You need a high IQ to understand how important the fucking
But
shaft
that's
grenade
not
is.
the point. The thing is that I maxed out chaff grenades 5 minutes later. I don't care about that grenade. I can just walk under cameras.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. You don't need the shaft grenade. There's some moments you actually need
No,
them.
yes, there are some moments you
Some
actually
moments-
need. There's
yeah,
one
yeah.
moment in
Some moments-
particular. Oh God.
Some moments I did not even need them, but I used them because
Yeah.
you have so much of them.
Okay, so since we're talking about it, you get up top of the elevator and you get the exposition dump. So at the top of the elevator, if you have done the VR missions like I've done, if you have checked the briefings, and if you have done the whole thing in the docks without getting caught, without making a sound, without killing anyone, the colonel will say, "Great job, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down." And Snake will reply, "Well, I had time in the submarine to do all the VR missions." End quote.
No shot.
Yes?
That is the only sentence I did not hear.
Exactly. And if you take your time, I think Colonel says something about you're not you know, it's fine, or it's age got you a bit rusty, something like that. I don't remember because
Well,
Oh,
it took me a
something like
few.
that,
he
yeah.
mentions you being
tries.
rusty if you fuck it up a bit.
I think, yeah.
If you get caught, or if you die a couple times, he does mention you're a bit rusty, which is fine.
Yeah.
And then, you know, of course, Snake looks around and uses the binoculars, which you have as an item. And to be honest with you guys, I have never used
it.
that fucking shit.
No.
You can always do triangle, and that's it. I don't need to have a fucking. Why do I need a binocular?
Yeah. I mean, in other games, they expanded upon it.
To see Sniper Wolf kill you?
Nah, well,
Yeah,
unless you
yeah.
messed up, but I mean,
I mean, we're not there yet.
we're not
Yeah.
there yet. We're not there yet.
I
We're
just
not
wanted
there
to-
yet. We're not there.
But this is exactly the place what Snake mentions to Naomi and Campbell, which their codec number is
Naomi? Like
Oh, the codec
140.96? I think.
no.
No,
For
140.
Campbell and Naomi, it's 140.85.
Oh, sorry. I thought of May. Sorry.
Well, afterwards we get introduced to Mei Ling,
Yeah.
which is what does he say about her? Eventually, he says she's a
Damn
very
it, I
cute.
didn't note all of them because then you told me how to get them
Yeah.
without.
So-
I noted some of them with like a word to tell me.
I wrote,
what it
I
were.
wrote them all. Yep. So Mei Ling is introduced. She is a creator of the Codec and Soliton Radar, as we mentioned earlier, and
Yep.
she's extremely cute. So here's the thing. That's why I go again for the headcanon. Is he looking at an image, or he's assuming she's cute by the voice?
I mean,
Well,
Mei-Ling?
there's one
Mei-Ling.
part. There's one part I believe, and if I remember correctly, Mei-Ling actually, or is it Mei-Ling? One other person on the other side of the codec mentions the fact that Snake is not wearing anything.
Yes. That was
Yes.
mentioned.
Yes, that is mentioned. But again, it's probably logical deduction because of the area where he is. But again, we'll see as we go on, because there's a lot of things that I myself have tried to figure it out. I even read the book based on Metal Gear, and it's hard to digest to see if they're seeing each other or not. It's unclear. It's movie magic at that point.
Yeah.
Just assume they kind of can,
I
but
guess
they don't.
in some way, you know.
Yeah.
So when you look at the mission, Mei Ling is talking to you about how the Soliton radar works. So
Yep.
it's very basic stuff. It pinpoints where people are, when they are, when you can see their vision.
That's the only good explanation I've ever had for a radar in my entire life.
Honestly, it's one of the easiest one to understand. Anyone can understand it. You're 8-year-old, you're playing a demo on a fucking Pizza Hut disc, and you're like, yeah, I know how it works.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
it just
that
makes sense.
So you call the Colonel. Colonel tells you have two options. You can either go bottom to crawl next to the guy who's falling asleep, or you can go top and go on the second floor through the air ducts. You have two choices to infiltrate inside Shadow Moses.
But what, there was two choices?
There's two choices. So that's my follow-up question. Did you guys go top or bottom?
Good
I
question.
went through the vents.
I went through the vents.
So you guys went top.
I was just sus. Yes.
Okay.
Well, did we? I mean, we crawl through the top and then get to the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the basic plan is that you went through there, you went to get the shapes, you had fun of your life in there, then you went up, you avoided the camera, got up to the second floor, got into the vents. Yeah. So that's top. Because
But,
bottom, it's next
I mean,
to the
I
truck.
also got a thing behind the truck. I think it was the gun.
Inside the truck, you find a SOCOM,
Yeah,
which is your first gun.
yeah. I found the SOCOM in the trunk.
You found it as well?
I don't know where I found it, but I found it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think you get one in the armory as well.
That's the part where people mostly normally find it.
Because
It's in
as
the
I
armory.
said, I looked everywhere because the moment I ended up going in a corner where the camera was hiding something and I noticed that it was sending me items, I realized that I had to look at every single corner of this game to get the stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes I was like, oh, there's definitely an item in this corner.
Yeah,
and
of
there
course.
was.
Yep.
And,
And I was like, oh yeah, oh that's
And
the
the way
stuff.
that this game is designed is you don't really need to use the FPS all that much to make it through the game. Now, don't get me wrong.
No, you can actually just spend the whole goddamn moment just staring at the goddamn Soliton radar and never give a fuck about what's going on in the game.
But the thing is
pretty
that
much what
if
I
you
did.
look in first person, you'll get a lot more details as to your surrounding. You'll actually see mobs outside of your goddamn screen, which
Yep.
is fantastic. Because I as I understand it, and that is my headcanon as to why this game was designed this way, is the PS1 didn't have enough juice to be able to just put the entirety of the rooms, the size that they were, all in the screen. Or, there was render distance problem. And
Well,
Most
yeah.
like-
the
most
FPS
likely,
was
yeah.
just
Yeah, that's how they did the Silent Hill games. They just created a fog system just to make you believe that it was a rendering doing it in the background. They've always had a way to
Yeah,
cheat
because I
around
mean,
it.
like otherwise, this game has evolved to a third-person shooter, which is just a more
Yeah.
logical way of playing this game. But ultimately, at the time, limitation in technology and the way that designed games, it just makes sense. But the FPS will absolutely permit you to plan your next move a lot better. Because otherwise, Jesus Christ, every now and again you just walk and then you get your ass fucked with a gun.
Well, would you be surprised if I told you, fun fact, that back in the days when Kojima was developing this game, Hideo Kojima,
Yeah.
in his office he would have Legos set up as the hallways and the places he was creating for the levels, and he would put, remember back in the days the webcams Lego had, so you can do stop motion stuff.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Yeah, well, you're probably
I-
younger, so maybe that's why you don't, not that much.
But I get it.
I never owned it, but it just doesn't surprise me.
But that's the thing. He would use it, and then he would put it as an actual camera, like when you would see cameras in the game. So you can have an idea of how could the angle go, where could he actually hide if you had to hide. So at some point, his only son, I think, came to visit him. Back in the days, he was probably 5 or 6, and he went to visit his dad to see what was going on. And we came back home. His mom was like, "So how was it seeing your dad at work?" "Oh, Dad plays with Legos all day." Because that's the only thing the kid caught on that, because he just saw a bunch of Legos of the whole Shadow Moses map going like, this is where it's got to go, this is where it's got to go, enemies are going to be here. But
That's
it was
awesome.
But it's a great way to do it, and that's why the angle is set up the way it is, because it's perfect. It's not a...
Yeah, now that you mention it, it's actually quite great. Now that I'm thinking about it from a point of view, I'm a war gamer. I play Warhammer, so I've made maps for war games.
It feels like a tabletop game.
and it feels like a tabletop now that you mention it, and it's such a good way to represent how you're gonna build levels.
Yep.
Yeah, no, that makes a whole lot more sense now.
So once you have got into the docks, either bottom or top, you get at this point we can call it a cutscene, the codec call from Master Miller.
Yep.
Now, Master Miller is a fauna and flora expert regarding anything Alaska, because he, as well as the other two, is retired. A lot of retirement going on here for a bunch of guys not even in the 40s.
Yeah, no, they look so young. Well, Roy looks
Roy probably end of his 40s, beginning to 50, but still,
old.
yeah, he's getting old-ish.
Yeah.
So, Master Miller tells you, if you have any sort of question or any problem regarding Alaska, please contact me, Snake, and I'm always happy to have your news. You haven't seen him or heard about him since Metal Gear 2.
Yeah, which is reason. Look, that's another.
You
thing.
played 5, so you know who Miller is.
Yeah, I know who Miller is, but the thing is my question is, I mean, the answer is probably just he still has contact with the team that's helping out Snake, and he got contacted for this mission. But how the fuck did he get the frequency for that codec?
From Roy.
Because he didn't have a codec back in the days.
Well, the thing is that for psychological evaluations, the United States could have asked for Miller to come back, because he's the only one who was assisting him during the Metal Gear 2 Operation Zanzibar Land, the same way that Roy was doing it. So
Okay, yeah, makes
probably
sense.
Roy was not aware of it, but he is a consultant required for that particular area and fauna. The same way that they got Natasha Romanenko, which, by the way, if you miss the cutscene where Natasha is mentioned and you never call her, you will never speak to that character in the whole fucking game.
I tend to call
there's no
every
need.
character after every boss.
But that's sad, because you can you can do that. I always do that. But what I mean is that once you contact Natasha for the first time, you can either fuck off and never call her again.
Yeah.
It's not necessary.
Yeah, but she was so useful though.
Yes.
Very, 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 very resourceful.
Resourceful. And she adds up to the cast of women inside the game, because ironically enough, a bunch of games in those eras, there's a lot of women in the cast.
Yep. Yeah.
There's a lot of women, even in the villains.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a fun way to do it. So Miller is there. His frequency is 141.80.
I know. I've written down for Alaskan needs.
There you go. And if you're inside the vent, you can always look closer into it by zooming in with the triangle button to go first person. So if you see a vent, put your face into it, you can see closer and you can have cutscenes.
Oh, really? I'm
sorry, can you
tend to
repeat that?
use the FPS. I tend to just crawl in.
Well, inside the vent, when you see little scaffoldings or areas you can look into, you can
Oh, yeah,
press
yeah, yeah.
triangle.
This.
You
Absolutely.
can squeeze
yeah.
your face into it.
I never did that.
So afterwards, you're at the top of the tank hangar, level 1. So you're in the level 2 area where there's a locked place for a level 2 key card. You go down, you can turn on the right, and you will find thermal goggles, which To be honest with you guys, I have never gotten the mine detector because thermal goggles will find anything you're looking for.
Yes,
Really?
I
Okay.
I use the thermal goggles all
And-
the time.
Not me. And so I used the mine detector a lot when I had to use it.
That will be later on then because I decided
Um,
not to go for that object.
Okay. But the thermal goggles I never used until Sniper Wolf, actually.
Okay.
Because I couldn't see shit in that cave.
So I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of this whole section, like you get to the armory, and eventually, before the boss, there's a gate, and there's lasers.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
yeah.
How the fuck did you see the lasers then?
Siggies.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, that's mostly how most people do it, which is I would say it would be the canon way to do it as Snake because that is the only
Yeah.
time cigarettes is actually valuable at all.
Yeah.
Well, he uses it to get health back after a boss.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
What does he do then?
He just goes yes.
It really feels like he's
Yeah.
smoking.
It does feel like it, but no.
No,
Huh.
He's past his reefer.
because you'll probably notice, but whenever he smokes, his life decreases like a motherfucker.
I
It's not that
I
fast,
kinda saw
actually.
that, but-
in hard it might be, but not in normal.
okay. Normally it wasn't. Yeah.
He still decreases his life though,
Yeah.
as expected.
It
when you're
looked
smoking.
like it, but I didn't see it go down.
Yeah. Well, it goes.
So
like, it goes down.
so yeah, I was fighting a boss and I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna smoke a cigarette. And just
There you go.
playing the boss like that.
So when you reach the first floor on the tank hangar, you see the elevator and you see 2 tanks and 2 enemies. So at that point, you just go for the elevator, get down, and you go for the first level, which is basement floor 1, which you will find the DARPA chief. Which once you go off the elevator and you go against the wall, you can see on the other side of the wall the DARPA chief waiting in the cell room.
Well,
Yep.
the first person you see is Meryl though.
Yeah, that's once inside the ducts. So once you get into the vent ducts, when you go down the pathway and you climb up the ladder inside the basement level 1,
Okay.
you will find Meryl, which, ironically, fun fact, I guess. Whenever you reach Meryl, you see her, and then you leave the ladder and go back up again, you can see her again in a different position. And the first time she's doing crunches, afterwards she's doing push-ups, then she's doing curls. She will change movement and position. If you go up and down 5 times, you will see Meryl in her underwear doing the same activities again.
Damn.
Just an Easter egg of sorts, if you really care about seeing polygon ass, because
Yeah, polygon ass is pretty much what it is, isn't it?
PlayStation 1 graphics. Oh,
they don't
yeah.
even have faces when you think about it.
I know.
When you try to look at their fucking dead eyes, you
Yeah,
don't
but they
see
had
shit.
so much character.
The voice carries the
Yeah,
characters. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
and not
I
only that,
appreciated
but
that.
now that we talk about characters, fun fact: did you know that Solid Snake's look inside this game is based on Jean-Claude Van Damme's body and on Christopher Walken's face?
It makes so much
Christopher
sense.
Yeah, back in Deer Hunter, he's wearing a bandana in that particular movie.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, wait. Okay.
But I'm
Okay,
not
I can see
surprised
it, yeah.
for the Van Damme body type.
Yeah. No.
Ooh,
That I never questioned.
Yeah. So you get inside the vent, you crawl down, and then you meet the DARPA chief.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So then, fun times begin, and exposition dump number 1, baby.
Oh, yes.
So please, Pascal, tell me, what was the exposition dump you got?
Exposition. What?
Dump.
What the fuck?
All the knowledge shoot bombs was thrown at you at that
Oh
moment.
yeah.
At the DARPA chief.
Well, DARPA chief may be slimy. That's what I got from it.
I mean, by slimy, elaborate.
Okay, so like the implanted security measures didn't work. What do you mean by that? Like he gave the fucking codes, right?
Yeah, he gave his codes to the nuclear watch.
So like his reasoning for it was the implanted security measures did not work. What the fuck do you mean by that? Also, yeah, I saw him later with his.
No, don't get ahead of yourself.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I just got why. Okay, never mind.
I disregard my point.
Yeah, no, I would like to retract everything I just said.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, Paco, would you like to explain what the DARPA chief truth bombs you on.
Okay, so first and foremost, DARPA chief informs you that this whole research facility has been working in secrecy even of the American government official, such as the president,
Yeah.
on the Metal Gear.
Metal
And
Gear!
then,
Metal Gear.
You know what? He goes, Metal Gear? And then at that point, you realize that they have not only means to shoot a nuke at Washington,
Yeah.
but more like hundreds of
Thousands
of nuke at everyone they want until they get the remains of Big Boss. So ultimately the guy's like, no worries, I didn't tell them the code, but then they still got the code. And then he goes, why? And he's like, well, one of them was very persuasive, and then he doesn't give you enough detail before he fucking croaks on you, and then you start panicking.
Yeah. So what is described as a sudden violent heart attack.
Death Note style.
Yeah. Which, by the way, before the heart attack actually starts, the DARPA chief becomes, as Pascal mentioned, kind of weird and slimy. He's like, so is Washington gonna answer to the demands? And he's like, what the fuck you mean? Well, do they know they're gonna launch nukes? Yeah. So are they gonna do the demands? Like, why the fuck do you care about that? Well, are they gonna do it? Do they believe in the threat? And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he dies.
Yep.
So he kind of croaks on you when he's becoming a bit weird paranoid for some reason.
Yeah.
And then you call back the codec for Colonel and you're like, what the fuck? The DARPA chief just died on me. Like, it looked like a heart attack. Do anyone know what's going on? So Snake is always telling Colonel, what the fuck are you not telling me? And that's something that is extremely reoccurrent even in the briefing when he says, I'm going to do the mission for 2 reasons. Because I trust you, Colonel, and no more lies. Which he can't trust him because he's probably lying to him
Oh yeah, all the
throughout
time.
the whole mission.
And he was, well, for CD1 anyway.
For that's the thing, we don't know how much Colonel is giving us and how
Yeah.
much Colonel is keeping to himself, because even us, we don't know if Colonel knows anything to a long term. So DARPA chief mentions you about the launch capability. It has 2 passwords to complete the launch, and the only way to stop it is using a PAL key, which is a particular card that is called a Personal Area Network, or PAL. No. Oh, that's the PAN. Whatever. That's the level cards for accessing the things and all that garbage.
Yeah, of course. He gives you access cards so you can unlock doors, and then at that point it becomes a Metroidvania kind
Yeah,
of
you
style
get
of
your
game.
level 1 card to answer it to
Yeah.
go back. So you have access, you go that, and then you know about Metal Gear codename Rex, which is a walking mobile tank capable of launching nukes.
Yep.
So now that we have the answer to the series, what the fuck is a Metal Gear? How did you guys feel about knowing what the fuck was a Metal Gear?
I was like, Metal Gear, yeah, that feels about right. I didn't know. I didn't know Metal Gear was a fucking weapon at all. I just thought it was a cool name. That's it.
Yeah, it's thematical. I mean,
Before I started the game, I already knew what a Metal Gear was.
yeah.
My biggest question, which the answer is most likely no, does this model moo like a cow?
What? What do you mean?
No.
Thank you.
Okay, so wait, hold on.
It does.
Should I ask more questions about that?
You can. I might not answer.
Okay, so
You will get the answer in disc 2.
Oh, really?
okay, then I will.
It is not a cow.
Okay.
Okay, what the fuck is with this cow? Okay, answer me.
No.
No. You'll have to see. It's
You
an
don't-
experience.
You don't need that kind of knowledge.
What is that? A Metal Gear Solid 5?
No.
Okay. All right.
So, you get the PAN card level 1. You have access to grant access to all level 1 doors, and you work using some sort of body transmitter to find what's going on around the area.
Wait. Is
Well,
Metal...
to be
wait.
exact, the way that he described the access key working, I know you're having a
Wait.
conspiracy
It uses-
theory.
Is
having
Snake
there.
Metal Gear?
No, but the way that the cards work actually
It
is
uses the salt in your body.
yeah,
Yeah,
it uses the salt from your sweat to
Okay.
transfer electronic.
So imagine how many doors a Smash player could open.
I know, man.
Okay.
He would be the master key, the skeleton key.
This is a fucking security issue, and it needs to be fixed immediately. All right? You just have the card in your pocket, and your sweat glands just respond to it?
I mean, if you're at minus 40 degrees outside, you shouldn't be sweating at all.
Fair enough.
You're the only one who's junked up to amphetamines and all that bullshit. No one should be sweating in the place.
Metal Gear.
But it's true that sometimes that whole security system tends to kick you in the ass for dumbest of reasons.
Yeah, and that is a gameplay limitation that we will talk about, obviously, once we get more keys going on and forth. Because, okay, well, fuck it. I'm going to talk about it right now. Back in the old Metal Gear, Metal Gear 1, Metal Gear 2, when you had a level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, or level 6, you would always have to change to the level correct card to open.
Yeah, no, fuck
So
that.
let's say if you get to level 2 and you have a level 3, take your level 2 to open the level 2. Level 3 is
my
bigger.
fucking
But
God.
no, take the level 2.
Yeah.
So Metal Gear Solid 1 solves that problem already for you motherfuckers.
Yeah, which is great.
Doing the actual pain in the ass, take the actual correct card, fuck off the edge of my dick with that information.
Absolutely. And we're lucky that this game actually pauses while you're fucking around in your pockets. Because I've had a lot of games that just decide, no, it keeps real time.
Yeah.
So you're in the middle of a boss fight and you're like, holy shit, I need to switch weapon or get an item. And then you get butt fucked while you're looking in your pockets.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, but fuck that noise.
Yeah. So once the end of the death of the DARPA chief, you hear some fighting and some grumbling outside the door cell, and suddenly by magic, the door cell is open. You don't see anyone nearby. You go out, and when you go out, you see the first cutscene of a guard knocked down. You can see his cock and balls being exposed to the whole wide world in mosaic.
Yeah, I was going to say my version was censored.
Everyone is mosaic. That's the
Okay.
joke. That's so he's
Wait, where? Sorry?
right after you leave the cell after the death of DARPA chief. Keep up.
Alright.
He told you about the mooing machine. Then you go out because the door just opens.
The
and
mooing
then-
machine?
Yes.
I thought it was not a cow.
Well, sometime it is. Look.
What is
not
it about
direct
the
small.
cow?
Tomato. Look, you get out of the cell.
There's no tomatoes, there's a cow!
You get pointed by guns point by someone.
Yep.
Freeze.
Okay.
So then Snake turns around and he says, "Can you shoot me, rookie?
And she's like, yeah, I can.
I'm a vet."
Yeah.
So the
my
the
ass.
cutscene itself changes. If you have the SOCOM, like me and Paco right here, Snake will turn around like a cool guy and point the gun at her.
Yep.
If you don't have it, did the cutscene change for you?
You mean whenever she opens the door for you?
Yeah.
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 You keep your arms up, right?
No. Keep your arms down. You're just like this, okay? Just describe whatever you see.
Okay, he's standing up. He's grabbing his cock.
No, he's kneeling down.
He's kneeling
actually.
down.
Yeah, he's taking a bit of an oath pose.
I guess,
Like,
yeah.
He's just going out the room, and and she just points the gun at him, and like,
Yeah, but when he gets back up and starts talking to her, in your cutscene, he just stays next to the guard, crouched down.
What does he do? Because for us, he just pulls out the gun and he has
Yeah,
an
he
open-
pulls his gun out.
He's gonna
and
shoot
literally
her straight up. He
about
doesn't
to
give a
shoot
fuck.
her.
no, he never did that.
Yeah, because you don't have a weapon. You don't have a SOCOM.
Yep.
Not yet.
So that's why I'm asking. So what was the cutscene like? Because I've never not been there with a SOCOM.
Yeah.
Huh. Sorry, I didn't pay that much attention.
I can
But
clearly see that.
uh,
Just messing with you, dude. I don't
fine.
care.
So yeah, you get out. She points the gun at you, and he's like, immediately in, talking mode.
Survival instinct.
Yeah, don't kill me.
Pretty
know?
please.
Please.
This
is SOP.
And then the guards come in, and he's like, "Oh, you're still green."
Okay, so how do you do that fight? Because we have our guns, so we're shooting at the
I
enemies.
do have a gun at that point. I don't know.
She gives a
So
famas.
she gives.
I guess she does. I guess that's how I got my gun.
Right. Okay, I think that's what happens. He disarms Meryl.
Wait, I don't remember that.
Or maybe not. Maybe she just has a sidearm with
Because,
her.
okay, because here's the thing: is that we can go into level B1, no problem. But
Yeah.
before you go, you can actually go to the B2 into the armory and get weapons.
Yeah, I know.
I went to B2.
So you went to B2 first.
Yeah.
So you had a weapon. So you saw the same
So
cutscene as us.
I did not see him pointing the gun at her.
Because I went.
I maybe
through,
did something different, and there's something you never saw. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing. I
Unless
don't
I'm
know.
not
That's
remembering correctly.
that's why you have to
which
pay attention, because I don't know. I will never know this information otherwise.
maybe I didn't pay that much attention, and you know, and I'm just being me. It sure hasn't been the first time.
So you get your first mini boss fight, which is the special unit genomes.
Yeah,
They have a different armor. They go shoot bad, and this is where you learn how the pressure sensitive pad works on the controller. So you learn how you can go 8 directions instead of 4.
Yep.
And you can learn that if you press square to shoot slightly, you can aim at someone, and then when you press and hold it, it locks down on the person.
I did not
Wait,
know
hold
that.
on.
So
Can
if
you
you-
repeat that?
If you lightly press on square and move with the D-pad, you will change targets. If you press and hold, you will empty on that particular person,
Yep.
Okay. So what I had written about
which you learn in
aiming-
the VR.
Fair enough. What I had written about shooting and aiming
Please.
was shooting is awful.
Okay.
But
Depends
I
on
then
which weapon, but
It's
yes.
not supposed to be a shooting game. Also that.
but I then noticed it's auto aim
When you press and hold it.
kinda. But then it became worse.
Okay, so here's
But
my...
then it was okay, but frustrating most times.
I fixed the problem by throwing a grenade at them.
Also, problem fixer. Now,
I chose not to do that, but I thought about it a lot.
and did you guys discover how to reload your weapons?
Yes, and I found the best way to do that.
Tell me how you do it.
L1.
Yes.
Yeah.
You quick equip again, clip, fully loaded.
Perfect. Love it.
I tend to just not
Empty it.
care.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah, though, but there's a specific place that you just played, like today,
Yeah.
that I had to do that because usually I would just finish a clip, whatever. But that specific place, I was like, L1, fuck it.
Yeah. You have no choice but to have
Yeah.
mastered it by that particular point in the game. You are correct. So you finish the boss fight. For my part, I had 0 death and I only have 5 bullets left. I only had the SOCOM on me at that point.
Okay.
Wait.
At the end of that fight, I had 21 bullets and had died about 10 times.
Okay. So how did you come out of that boss fight? How do you feel about that?
That boss fight, I got it the first try. It was mostly the levels because since I'm insane about loot, I would tend to get caught a lot and then I get killed.
Yeah.
And I don't tend to want to waste bullets on random grunts that are just going to respawn anyway.
Mm.
So I just kind of let myself die.
Okay. How about you without encounter? How many times did you die? If you can recall.
That encounter, yeah. You mean Ocelot, right?
No, I mean the mini boss.
The mini boss.
Just with barrel.
Oh, no, I don't remember how many times I died. But
Do you think you died on that?
yes, probably.
Okay.
It's fucking start of the game.
I guess you learned the controls and all that
Bruh.
good stuff. Yeah.
Look, I didn't even learn the controls yet. Like,
Yeah,
okay, no,
fair.
I did. I kind of did, But like beating the first boss was probably the first true boss, right? Revolver Ocelot was probably when I was like, oh, I kind of get it now. But before that, no.
Well,
not really.
we'll get to Ocelot in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So, after you finish the boss fight, Meryl just pisses off. She's like, "Okay, thank you, bye." And then there's a really amazing 4K HD close-up of her ass in slow motion.
Yes, absolutely.
This will be relevant to the plot.
I'm
remember it
fully
well.
aware that it is relevant. It
yeah.
is mentioned a couple of times. And also you can see it in game.
Yes, it is relevant to the plot.
It is.
So, after that happens, we see a weird, fucked up flashback in Sepia going, "Damn it, the DARPA chief is dead.
Yep.
Fuck you, Ocelot." That's the gist of it regarding Liquid Snake telling Ocelot what the fuck happened. Snake goes, "What the fuck was that?" And we see a vague shadow in the sky kind of floating and leaving the Falcon.
Oh, okay.
It's getting there, isn't it? You're getting it.
Yeah,
I just got that part.
I'm
Thanks.
starting to. Yep.
Yeah, you guys are getting it. Good.
Yeah.
So,
Fuck you.
that happens.
No,
then-
I appreciate it.
And then it's back to the tank hangar, level 1.
Yep.
So once we get up,
We noticed that one of the tanks are no longer in the goddamn hangar.
Yeah.
I wonder
Wait,
where
I
it
never saw any
is.
tank.
So you go back up. Well, the thing is that I did go back up because I just got the level 1 card. So with the level 1 card, you go to the right before the big gate.
Yeah.
You get the suppressor for your SOCOM,
Wait,
and you have a
suppressor?
silenced gun.
I did not get that.
There was a suppressor.
There's a suppressor in the first level of the tank hangar.
I checked
did not get
every
that.
fucking corner, and he probably checked every corner like
There's a
10 times
soldier-
more than me.
There's a soldier sleeping in the background next to a suppressor.
Sleeping.
Yes.
I did not see that.
Afterwards,
He will go back.
afterwards, since you have the level
I
1,
can't.
not anymore. He changed discs.
Oh, when you change this, you cannot go
I
back.
am fucked.
He will play the game again.
No, he won't.
I won't.
So, once you have gotten the suppressor, you go back into the second floor of the tanker, and right next to the camera after the stairs, you open up the door and you find the most important and iconic item of the series. Your first cardboard box.
Yep. I have 3.
I
Never
have
used
3
a
as well.
Single one.
Good.
I used it because it was funny.
He has used it. Now, Paco has played Metal Gear Solid 5. He knows that the boxes has many utilities and very much a lot of utilities in that particular
Oh
one.
yeah.
But your experience with the box. Tell me, when do you think you have used it? Did you use it during a fight? Did you use it during a Genome Soldier? Did you hide from alert using it?
I hid from alert. Yeah,
Nice.
sure. At some point, but more like alert. Okay, you kill the guy real quick, or you
Yeah.
kill the guy,
That's a very nice motion to do, yeah.
and then you go in another room and then you hide in the box.
Yeah.
That's what I mostly did with it. But other times I used the box as a way to move forward, lower, to
Okay.
get through in the armory. There's one instance where there's 2 instances actually, but one with lasers that are like in squares instead of just in rectangles. So I went through that square with the box.
Yeah.
But not the first one, because the first one alerted the guards. The second one was fine.
Okay, so you did find usages for the box.
Not really.
Pretty cool. He found usages for the box. Now,
In this game in particular, I received the box and then read what was the description, and it's like, yeah, it's gonna be useful in that area. And I was like, I am butt fuck lost. I don't know where I am.
well, that's
I know what the map is. I pretty much memorized it at this point, but I don't know where I am.
well, to know where you are, you can always press start, and they will be given a name where you are.
Yes, but then at that point, I'm like, I'm just gonna get good.
Fair. You know what? Fair. Yeah, I can respect that.
But
So-
then I learned the map.
So then you go to basement level 2 from the tank hangar, and you meet, like I said, people, your favorite room in the game, the armory.
Yeah.
Armory, yeah.
Armory.
Now, with the armory, you will be aware that now that you may know this information, you can find in there a Nikita launcher, C4, a PGS-1, which is a sniper,
Yep.
grenades, the SOCOM, if you hadn't found it before in the truck, you will find it here, and the FAMAS, which is a level 2 keycard that is required to get that particular gun.
Yeah.
So here you talk to Colonel. Colonel says you have to find a fake wall because that's the only way you can find the arms tech, which has been located and kidnapped somewhere inside that basement. So how did you guys find the fake wall?
I looked at it.
Me too.
The coloration?
Yeah.
Uh,
And then
Yeah.
I also
Yeah.
tried to see if it made different noises.
So you laid on it and you knocked it.
really?
Yeah, it's a thing you
It's
can
a hollow
do
wall.
is if you
Oh, that's
go
great.
near to the melee attack and makes you knock on walls,
So, yeah, no, I know that.
and you can differentiate.
But I thought it
sounds.
was only to distract, not to distract, but to make people come to you, to come to your
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah. okay.
No, it can also be useful for a couple of other things.
It's really a
Huh.
useful gameplay mechanic, honestly.
Never used it for useful ways. I always used it by mistake, and it fucking killed me.
Fair enough?
Yeah, I get that.
So, once you destroy it, You go
Wait,
into it.
What was that sound?
Yeah. So
Sorry.
after destroying the fake wall, the radar will be jammed due to an electronic jamming, but the codec will be fine.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Do your piece. Go ahead.
Yeah, it makes total sense.
Maylene explains. Yeah. It's interconnected with the inner cell batteries of your salt bodies and fluids, so therefore the projection is done elsewhere. The same way the card pan is worked.
Yes, the card thing. Yes, absolutely.
Salt. That's what you're getting right now, and that's why it
That's
works.
that's why you can contact Mei Ling, because of the salt in your body.
Yeah.
Right.
And then we join our good old buddy, and the first encounter you motherfuckers have with this beautiful character,
Yep.
Revolver Ocelot.
I love them.
He spins so much of his
Oh.
goddamn guns.
The Cold
That was
Single Action Army,
so
the greatest gun ever.
Fucking awesome.
6 bullets, more than enough to kill anything that
Oh,
moves.
yeah. I like
My
I like
brain
killing
went-
myself when I'm in battle.
Okay, I
was
have to
reloading.
say it. Because this game likes to play mind trick with you, I had the dumbest reaction. And I died like 2 times against this boss. One, because I just didn't understand how the boss was meant to be played. And the second time was because I wanted to take his advice too literally and decided to not move.
That's precious.
No, but no, he's right. There's a
I know, I like it.
There's a couple cutscenes where you will have to listen to what the fucking boss fight is telling you.
Yep.
You will learn. Trust me, you will learn. There's a boss fight in particular. So,
Maybe you'll tell me and I'll be like, oh.
we'll get to it. We'll get
Yeah.
to it. You'll see. So, the boss fight goes, you have to do a cowboy fight with this motherfucker. Draw your weapon and start shooting. Avoid the wires.
Yep.
Don't run into the wires. You sound like a guy who did it.
The first time I died is because I literally shot the C4 that was next to the guy I was supposed to
Fair.
save.
Fair.
You don't want to know how many times I died. in
Please,
this
because
fight.
I did write my many times I
I-
have died and it's still 0.
did not write how many times I died in this fight. I wrote it for the entire game. And
But
you
there's
do
one.
not want to know now. I will tell it at the end.
Fair enough. Anyways, it's not a spoiler, but when you finish the game, you get a score screen, which we will take pictures of and
Yeah, of
we will
course.
post at the end of part 2.
Oh, at the end of the... Oh.
At the end of the whole game, we get a score screen.
Oh, and you get how many times you died?
Yeah.
Okay.
Totality and all of it.
Okay,
Because I did not keep count of that exactly.
I did
did.
because I'm insane and I've played the game so many times I don't care.
I did, but not exactly because I was like, oh, I died like 3 times since this number. So,
Yeah.
you know, I just died like once maybe.
Irrelevant.
Yeah. So the number is probably not right, but it's pretty close. I'm sure.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay. I'll tell you later.
So,
Yeah.
as you may or may not know, you have to run around Ocelot or try to catch him and empty your load on him as fast as you can.
I personally decided to completely ignore running after him
Okay.
and kind of moved around and took blind shots at the emptiness. And when I saw his HP go down, I went, yes. But I had so many ammo because I barely used all the resources that I kept hoarding that he eventually just died.
Oh yes. Okay. Okay. Very nice. So I did not do that.
You ran around him.
Yeah, I ran around. I ran around and did, just. But I still shoot in the dark. Like I don't know if he's there. I fucking hope he is.
You pray to God.
Yeah, and sometimes he was.
Yeah.
So that felt good.
Okay, well, I, for one, did the same as you two guys. I would stop, shoot around, and I would sometimes run around because it's just fun to run when he's fucking reloading.
Yeah.
The thrill of the fight, he's reloading his single action cold army. You gotta follow him and just shoot him. Marker side on this, though, the game, there's a remake of it that existed back in 2003 called Metal Gear Solid The Twin Snakes.
Yeah.
Now, Twin Snakes, the difference between it is that it's on GameCube. Unlike the PS2, it didn't come out on there, which was only GameCube. And it brought in gameplay mechanics and differences from Metal Gear Solid 2, which, get ready for this, it includes a tranquilizing gun, which you can do a pacifist run and not kill anyone, and the mode to be in first person and shoot,
Yeah, which is a thing that this game doesn't have.
which means that Ocelot can be killed relatively quick in the GameCube version. You can just stay put, aim at him, he will run, you will shoot him in the head, do that thing 3, 4, 5 times, and ba boom. It is over.
Okay.
Boom goes the dynamite.
I was like fucking hoping that I could aim and shoot in first person mode.
Not in 98.
It hurt.
98.
It kind of hurt.
I'm sure it was.
But it was fine. It's not a game about shooting. You said it so yourself, and I agree.
Yeah.
But I wish the shooting was better.
Well, the thing is that you wish for it to be faster and better because when you're playing Ocelot is ricocheting the fuck out of his bullets. He's hitting corners, and
Yeah,
you
he's
just
awesome.
get shot. And then you destroy Ocelot. You beat his punk ass. And when he's ready to reload, what do we get?
We get a goddamn cyber ninja that just chops his hand off.
Well, before that, we got the Armstead guy that just died in our hands.
No, not yet. We haven't talked to the Armstead guy
Wait,
because he's still
if
hooked up to the
anything,
explosives.
Actually, before the hand cutting,
Fuck, you're right.
the ninja cuts every single rope of the C4, blasting Ocelot away. So it has a better chance of you just fucking off. So Ocelot
Fuck, I missed
being
that. My bad.
completely wrecked at that point, takes his hand, put it in pocket, and runs away.
Yeah.
So the proud creature that is the Ocelot has been defeated. Now we get the cutscene where the ninja wants to have a fight with Snake. Snake avoids it, and the ninja just fucks off. We don't know much about him. He just fucked off. And then we get to talk with the Armstick. Now, Armstick president or Kenneth Baker. What exposition dump was given to you, Pascal? Do you remember?
No.
Do you remember what he said?
I do.
Go ahead.
I mean, ultimately, it was a whole lot of goddamn these motherfuckers who brought their soldiers here and how dare they betray us.
Oh yeah, Jim.
And-
Jim, your boss, Jim.
Yeah, and it's like, look, man, the guy who's leading you in this mission, he's lying to you. He's a piece of shit. And then Snake is all like, no, I trust him. And I told him no more lies. And he was like, you really believe that? You really believe that the guy who's been consistently lying to you and keeping details from you, not lying to you? Really?
Just makes
And
the
then
face-
eventually he's like, look, man, we designed these weapons. They took a bunch of nuke heads that we lost around the world or that were decommissioned, brought them here, and then now they're willing to blow everything up. And you don't know jack shit as to why they want Big Boss. And it's like, why did they want Big Boss? And it's like, you'll figure it out if you ask your boss.
You
or if
dumbass.
you get me out of here, I'll fucking tell you. And then he starts croaking and insults the fuck out of you by like, you're the one. They fucking did it. How fucking dare you? It's all your fault. Shakes you a little bit and then just dies.
Okay, well, at this point, I think fucking we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna talk about the elephant in the room. Snake is not the smartest man in the world.
Oh no, he is not.
He is a grunt. He is there to do dirty work, and that's it. The many times that Snake will do through the game, he will just repeat the last three words you said. Mm-hmm. Like, you can just ask him, Snake, would you like to go to eat Chinese food? Chinese food.
Yep.
It will always be that with him. So Snake is not the lightest bulb in the stadium.
Wait, didn't he score at 180?
Fuck are you talking about?
The grunts that you're fighting against scored a 180.
Yeah, not him.
But
sorry.
you need a 10 to
I
beat a
misunderstood.
180 in this game.
Minimum. So, we learned from the Armstick, as Paco mentioned earlier, that he talked and he gave his fucking code for the launch nukes. So that means that these motherfuckers have 2 launch nukes and they can launch a nuke at any time at Washington or anyone else they want. How did they get it? Snake asks, did Psycho Mantis get to you? Armstick's like, bitch, please. I got psychic abilities to stop me. It's all training part of people who have the code. We get our thing implanted and no one can reach our mind with psychokinesis. Which is weird for them to have that because just in case psychokinesis happen, we are prepared. So why did they get the code? Because the Armstick is a punk-ass bitch. He was never trained to sustain torture.
Yep.
They broke his arm, they fuck his leg, and he mentions, quote, Revolver Ocelot is some sort of sadist.
Oh yeah, big time.
So when you're a kid and you don't know what the fuck a sadist is, you're like, oh, that's bad. He's always sad. That's weird.
A sadist.
Well,
Then when you grow up, you're like, oh. That's another kind of sad.
yep. Yep.
So then Armstead, before croaking, gives you the PAL key, and he says, no, actually, he lost the card key, and he gave it to the female soldier.
Yep.
So he asks, well, where is the free cards? Oh, she has it. It's only one card. What? Where's the other two? I don't know. I only have one. And that will be a recurring thing in the story. Where's the other two? I don't know. I have one.
Yeah.
You may have noticed that so far.
Yeah.
And he also gives you an optical disc, which is the information that Jim, which he keeps mentioning, your general boss, requires regarding tests and nuclear launches regarding Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Which is why they were there on the side where Armtech and DARPA were together, was to verify these launch nukes and see what could go on. So he gives you the floppy disks and the optical disc containing all the information and taste data from Metal Gear.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, he also mentions the fact that there's a failsafe that can be activated to prevent the nukes.
Using the PAL key.
Yeah.
The PAL keys, actually.
Yeah, keys,
so
plural.
you have to find the 3 keys to block off the nuclear capability once the 2 passwords have been entered.
Yeah.
So we know they're getting prepared. We don't know why they're waiting so long. They're getting the demands for the 18 hours left before the launch.
Yeah.
So then you get a live action exposition regarding nuclear weapon, Cold War mumbo jumbo, yada yada, and then explain why Metal Gear is necessary to the plot of the Cold War and why the Soviet Union crashed. And
Yeah. Yeah.
this is the fantasy lore. This is the fantasy football of army
Yeah. Basically.
happening. So he gives you the level 2 key card, and he gives you the full name of, well, you get in the chat the first full name of Dr. Naomi, which is Dr. Naomi Hunter.
Yep.
Why is this relevant so far? Not yet. You will figure it out.
Oh, good.
So, Armstead die, heart attack. We have no clue what's going on. Before you go, he tells you to contact the female soldier, which her information code should be at the back of the CD box.
Yep. Which is a thing that I was told many years ago, that there were a bunch of stuff that were related to the outside of in-game that you had to get the info in. At first I was kind of panicking because I didn't have the original CD case, and I was wondering if I was going to get the info that I was supposed to get out of, what the game expected me to do.
Mm-hmm.
And luckily, the remastered version of the PlayStation Classic or Mini or whatever you want to call it actually puts all the info that you need in the back as the game previews. They kind of went with a whole sheet of small pictures and print screen of all of the games. And the one for Metal Gear has the info, so you can contact Naomi, right? Meryl, sorry.
Yeah.
I'll get mixed up with names all the time.
Yeah, the Colonel's niece. And that's fine.
Yes,
And
Colonel's niece,
where
yes.
that's at.
It's needed
so-
to further the game.
Yeah.
as well.
And at first, I was panicking so badly that I contacted my colleague Pablo and went, I don't have the original case.
Me as well.
Motherfucker, how am I going to do this? And it was like, yeah, it's behind the box that it came shipped in. And I'm like, I don't think I still have that either. So you had to show me in the most cryptic way possible, of course, just a small clip of him turning around the box and then swiping. And I had to look at my phone and just press pause to try and figure out which one it was.
Yeah.
It was a whole experience. I didn't dislike it.
And how about you, Pascal? Because you had one of, if not the most frequently seen experience I've seen in the latest 5 years when I look at these games on stream. When people stream it on Twitch, Pascal had the exact thing I wanted to happen. Please tell me.
Wait, what the fuck? I have a disc. I don't have the CD box. What the fuck is that? Was my immediate response.
Yeah.
And what I asked him as
Yeah.
well.
No, because what I've seen in multiple times on Twitch in the last few years is that newcomers to Metal Gear, they want to try, they want to play the game. They get the optical disc from Kenneth Baker, the Armstead president, and he tells you it's at the back of the CD case.
Mm-hmm.
So they try,
Yes.
just like any Silent Hill game from the same company, to examine the optical disc.
Yep.
Because they figure the code will be on that disc.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that has, not against you or any of those streamers, never has it ever crossed my mind to look at the objects in game. This is new gaming ways that we have done it, like Dark Souls that gets his lore from the items or
Yep.
anything else. I have never considered looking at the optical disc. If anything, when he says it in the cutscene, it's for your boss, I never touched or checked the goddamn disc.
Me neither.
I went to a fucking computer in the game to see if I could put the floppy disk
Oh, I
in.
think I know what computer you went.
There's a fucking computer
at Al's lab. Al's
It-
laboratory.
Yeah.
in
I did not try
the game that has like a dot on it in the radar.
Yeah.
So I went there. It didn't do shit.
Look, you're too extra for that game. That's all I can say because you're going too deep for something that didn't require that level of deepness. It required some level of deepness, granted, but not that much. Now, for my experience back in the days, I rented this game. So when you used to rent games,
It would come with a box, hopefully.
no, you wouldn't. Back in the renting place
No,
I
right,
had, they would
that's
give you
true.
they would give you the plastic thing,
plastic
and
DVD boxes.
sometimes they would just lend you one disc. If it's a 2-disc game, you have to rent the second part.
Yeah.
There were some
true.
places here in Montreal. By the way, we're from Montreal.
Yep.
The place used to be called Super Club Video Choix, and you have to have a disc at a time. You couldn't have two of them.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're
So,
talking about. Oh Jesus Christ.
It didn't come with the manual. You get the first disc. How the fuck am I supposed to know how to contact Meryl? And I could never know for the longest time. Until when I grew up and had the money to buy the game myself, I looked at the box. And would you look at that? Motherfucking numbers in the back of the box.
Yep.
And it says it. I also, to you guys, because we have a sort of chat to communicate, I send a video of the original box. And at the back, it says Meryl. And there's a number.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. It's in the back of the box. And you go for it. So once we have procedurally and very painfully looked at the number, we call Meryl, which, if any of you motherfuckers can scream it on top of your lungs, what is the number for Meryl?
I don't know.
On the top of my lungs, I don't know the numbers by heart.
But is it 140, 152?
No.
Is it 140, 112?
No.
No, that's Otakan.
Okay, fine. So Meryl's number is 140.15.
Cool. I didn't know
yeah.
it was gonna be quizzed on numbers. This was not part of the deal.
Well, I suffer from dyscalculia, you suffer from dyslexia, Pascal is slow. We'll figure it out.
What
We'll
did
figure
you
it out.
what did you say? You said I'm slow?
No. Look,
It's a condition.
so you're supposed to contact Meryl, but you can't do it from where you are because it's jammed. So,
Well,
that's
is it really jammed? Because they say it's jammed, but it just feels like it's because you're inside a cave. Because every single time you're inside a cave, you just don't get the radar.
So again, here's a weird headcanon, and that's what Pascal was bringing up later on. The radar is jammed, doesn't work, but the codec still works. But if you want to add a new contact to your codec, you can't use it.
Yep.
So if you have your top 5 favorites, like the old Nokia style, you can
Uh-huh.
call them. If you don't have it in your contract plan, you can't call them unless
Wait.
you find signal.
Is that why?
You cannot call Meryl when you're in front of the arm stack because it's jammed.
No, that's fine. That's
It's
not what I
burst
was-
transmission.
Okay. So I never had any problem with the codec, but like one of the numbers did not register at some point. I guess because I died then.
You need to call back at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, always call them back.
All right. Fair enough.
So-
Another thing, before the boss of Aslot, there's a couple of alternate fake walls you can blow up.
Yes,
And
I
one
do
of
have them
them-
mapped out.
One of them, just before the boss fight, hurted me so bad because my gamer move was like,
Which boss?
but Ocelot.
Okay.
And my gamer move was like, they're so close to one another. If I stick a C4 just at the right spot, I can open both door with one C4. It did not work.
No.
I was so angry.
Again, it's old game logic.
Yeah, I know.
Pixel perfect.
I'm aware.
That's how they worked it back in the day.
And then I was like, cool, there's an alternative path. Well, I wonder what's in there. And since everything's blurred due to comm jamming, I got... Yeah, we had a whole discussion about that during the sound test.
Oh yeah,
so,
right.
No,
right.
but no, basically your radar is cracked.
communication
right now.
jammed. Come jam.
Yeah.
Come.
And yeah, there's just cameras with machine guns.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those beautiful turrets.
And then they just shoot you down because it's the first time you see them. And also,
Next level
you
camera.
can't see them until you walk inside the room. And I discovered at this point that it was kind of RNG because you don't go through a loading, so they're there. So sometime you'll walk in the room and it's going to be looking at the hole you just made. So you'll get shot before you can move.
But that's in a like item room, right?
Yes.
So before Ocelot.
Yep.
So I never went there.
Yeah, because you can find a bunch of fake walls, like he's mentioning, while you're looking for the real one.
Okay, so the only fake walls I've found were in the armory.
Well, that's the thing. That's the only place you can find them. There's 2 of them on each side of the elevator, and one all the way to the bottom, which leads to Ocelot.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you can find SOCOM bullets, and there's also trap floors in that one, and C4 in the other one.
Yep.
So you get back the C4 you lost while
Well,
exploring.
then I don't remember a camera with a machine gun on it at that point in time.
Well, there's another wall, but it's
Maybe I missed a wall. Yeah.
yeah, it's
guess.
dumb at it.
Trust me,
for
there
that.
was nothing valuable there.
Fair enough.
Yep, I can vouch for that. I have the map.
Most items that are hard to get, or all of them, are not worth it.
Yeah.
And May told you that many times.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yes. So, once we got all the info, we go right back to the tank hangar, and then your comms are unjammed, and you can contact dear old Meryl Silverberg.
Yep.
You
Silver
contact-
what?
Silverborough. Well, Silverborough, I don't remember.
Silverborough.
Silverborough, something like that.
Sure, last
keeps,
name.
She keeps her mom's name because her dad died young. It is explained later on. You will find out. Mr. Something Campbell, because he's Royce Campbell's brother, little brother, blah, 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 you know.
Yeah, but I think it's explained within CD1, actually.
Yeah, it's in the CD1 when you finally talk to Meryl a bit more, face-to-face.
Yeah, or, ground to face, but whatever.
We'll get to that. So, you get there, you talk to Meryl. Meryl pulls out her mask to show herself to Snake and the codec, because, again, we don't know if they see each other's faces or not.
Yeah.
And she's like, why did you think I was a rookie? And he was like, and I quote,
I could see it in your eyes.
the actual one is, they are not soldier eyes. They are soft and compassionate eyes.
He was
she was-
talking about her ass.
Because I'm a rookie, right?
No, something different. You know, it's those kind of things that you remember that it's in the 90s, and you remember that Snake was in retirement with a bunch of wolf dogs in Alaska and probably hasn't felt or smelt a woman in the last 8 to 10 years.
We'll get
Oh yeah.
to that.
By the way,
trust
what the
me.
fuck is his profession?
Snake?
Yeah.
I'm a dog musher.
Yep.
His official, yes,
Yeah.
profession is dart musher. Now, what he does for a living, he's a spy.
Wait, at the end. Wait, I might be like. Okay, so it's just one information that I'm not sure if I heard correctly or not.
Go ahead.
At the end of CD1,
Yeah.
Snake says, and I'm not sure, either I hate dogs, or I don't like dogs, or I like dogs.
He likes dogs.
He likes dogs.
He hates wolves.
Okay.
He has wolf dogs. That's what he has in his pack.
Okay, because
Okay.
I heard him, but I was not listening like that much to it. But I don't know if he said I don't like or I like.
No.
dogs.
Because he despises wolves.
Okay.
He appreciates the wolf dogs he has at home because they're half breeds.
Okay.
That's the only thing I can say, and I can only elaborate to that on disc
Alright.
2. Honestly, that's the only thing I can do.
All right.
Cool.
So, once you have gotten the information, Meryl tells you that she has the operational level 5 key card to open the door gate for the hangar, so you can leave the base hangar. So you're like, oh great, so give me the card.
The curd.
Curd.
And she's like, nah, son, I'm gonna open the door from afar, but I keep an eye on you. So they go up right there, and he's like, do you have the PAL key? Yeah, I have it. Where you hid it? I hid it somewhere. Quote, women have more hiding places than men.
Oh, they have so much.
AKA, it was written by a man.
Yep.
Oh no, they have so much.
No, but Meryl has stupid space.
No, I met Meryl.
She can keep a Desert Eagle in her bra.
Like,
without a bra.
I wrote something about it.
Bruh.
Like they like she. How many things were stuck in those boobs of hers?
Yes.
A lot. When you think about how many things Meryl is carrying at that particular scene, a lot. We'll talk about it when we get to that scene, obviously, because we will find that scene. But so He mentions that he needs a PAL key to destroy and to disarm Metal Gear because they have both nuclear launch codes. Again, we have to repeat this information because Snake is dumb. He has to say it himself because he has to remind himself that the code has been given. And Meryl says, well, I do have the single key that I have hidden. And he's like, okay, well, we'll stop it with that key. Otherwise, we will have to destroy Metal Gear. And then Meryl gives, at that point, I'm sure she alerts the whole base because I heard a splooshing sound on the floor. The minute she heard that he had to destroy Metal Gear single-handedly, which sounds awesome that you have to single-handedly destroy Metal Gear. I don't want to do that. No one wants to do that. You want to, stop it with the launch codes. So then Meryl goes into the sadness that she always wanted to be a soldier. She starts crying. She couldn't kill people.
Oh yeah,
She's
there was
just
a
green.
song. There was a sad song.
Yes,
yeah.
with the vocals going in the background.
Yeah.
So
I watched it twice just to make sure.
War is good, killing is bad. She's coming down from the combat high, so he's saying you're just a woman, calm down. So, again, it's the 90s, it's action trope. You can't do anything about it.
Okay, I have to say it though. Every time she talks about her whole I want to be a soldier and I can't get myself to actually do it or anything like that. The only thing that goes through my mind is not the song that's playing currently in the game. I get Gatsu in my mind.
Yeah. Guts theme from Berserk
Oh.
97.
Yeah.
And that's basically,
Yeah.
that's what that song is for.
I know.
I have to think about it a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So
A little bit.
Meryl is told to stay put from afar once she opens the door and to be, again, 98, quote, a good girl, and not move from her spot. So you can see the lasers with the thermal goggles or, as Pascal did it in his case, the cigarettes. Now, do any of you motherfuckers know what happens if we touch them lasers?
Oh yeah.
Oh, hell no.
What?
Pascal, you picked the straw from the hat. What happens if you get struck by the lasers?
Well, guards come in. Well, at least one guard comes in.
The lasers inside the hall deck before you...
A specific.
That specific one, yeah.
Okay, sorry. Which one exactly?
Just before the tank.
Just before the. I don't know.
Okay, fuck it. Well, all right.
I thought you meant in general.
I'm gonna stop throwing curveballs at this guy. So basically, when you open the hangar doors and you go into the laser, and if you don't have the thermal goggles or the cigarettes, you hit the laser. The gates will close down, and poison gas will flood the place.
I mean,
There's
she
nothing you can
mentions
do.
it, but I
Yes.
never actually touched it.
Well, it's in case you fuck it up
Yeah.
because
Oh,
there's a
yeah.
certain pattern, but there's not a perception depth.
Yeah.
So you can actually fuck it up easily if you don't understand where the laser is going.
Yeah, I went too fast and I ran into them.
Did you get poisoned?
Oh yeah, no.
Well, then why the fuck?
I
Anyways,
forgot.
I know.
ADHD.
that's why-
Shut the fuck up.
That's where we take notes. So once the door is open, the first door that Meryl opens is level 5. But the door at the end of the corridor is level 2.
I know.
So go fuck yourself. Why is it gotta be like that?
I
Who
did
knows?
not notice that.
Look, man, I have a thing I gotta talk about doors, but I'm gonna have to wait until later on.
The specific door, I know.
There's one specific door that made me go full conspiracy theory about this game.
Door?
Oh, there's one door.
Okay, so once you get out, you reach the place and you see the open snowfield, and then you get the call from probably one of the favorite characters for a lot of people. Careful, Snake. There are mines there.
Oh.
Who are you? Just call me Deep Throat. You mean from the Watergate scandal? No. And then it just ends.
Deep throat.
I mean,
Now, this is a
is he
political...
octopus? Is
can't-
it decoy octopus?
I can't say.
Is the man who calls himself Deep Throat decoy octopus?
I mean, anyone could be
He is,
decoy
isn't he?
octopus. Anyone could be decoy octopus. You know.
Even deep throat.
Even Deep Throat. So he says that he's one of your fans, and he recommends you to go get a mine detector because there are Claymore mines over there in the area.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys have the mine detector? I know Pascal mentioned he had it,
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
I had
I did
both.
not have it at that point.
so you had to go back.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I had both already.
Okay. So like I said, that is probably the single item that I never pick up. I've picked it up the first few times in my playthroughs when I was younger. As a grown ass man who has no fucks to give, fuck that mine detector.
Well, I didn't know you could like crawl and pick up the mines.
Also, that's how you pick up the claymores, and you can use the thermal to find them.
Yeah.
Not night vision. Thermals.
I have a whole thing
Wait.
about the claymores. There's one part in the game that made me go breaking.
I think I know what you're saying.
It was hilarious.
I think I know the part. So you go in there, you avoid the claymores.
You don't use thermal for claymores, so you don't know. Okay,
Oh,
Wait,
we'll
I-
get to
actually-
that, we'll get to that.
Before we get to that, I thought when we talked about the thermal binoculars earlier, I thought we were talking about the night vision goggles.
They're not the same.
They're not
No,
the same.
I know that, and I just spaced out, and I never had those.
Yeah, the thermal were on the second
It's the
floor
red vision
of
one.
the tank
I-
hangar.
I
Like I
used the
mentioned.
night vision ones, yeah.
Like
No, the red vision one. The thermals turns your whole screen to red.
red. Yeah.
Never used those. Never
Okay.
had those
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah, because
missed that item.
because that's what
Yep.
I mean. Because in the tank hangar level 2, you get the mine detector at the door next to the ladder when you go in from the shaft, from the ventilation shaft, and the door next to it downstairs is the thermal. That's where it is.
Okay.
You can also find them later on basement nuke level 2 before you go check for Otacon. There's also another room,
Okay.
so you have multiple times to get thermals.
Well.
So you use the thermals, or in that case, the mine detector. Thank you, Pascal. And you pick up the claymores, and then you get face to face where our big chunky boy Vulcan Raven.
Yep.
Now, what is he wearing? Where is he?
Like half of nothing. Like,
Yes,
he's half naked.
because as Colonel Campbell says in the opening, and that is a vagrant mistake that I love to point out. Vulcan Raven, tough man, and shaman.
Yes.
He says shaman instead of shaman.
This is so infuriating.
Every time, shaman.
I don't like that.
I know, I love it. I love it.
But yeah,
I was like, I questioned myself.
Yeah, I the first time I heard it too, I'm like, I've been saying this shit wrong my whole
Yes.
life.
Yeah.
I did not. I did not.
You point at the game,
That-
he's wrong.
yeah, I was just like, no, that's not how you say that.
So American. Like,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
shaman.
No, but no. Ultimately, yeah, he wears mostly tribal tattoos and loincloth.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming
We assume
loincloth
so far, yeah.
because his lower attire is a whole tank.
And I don't know, the way you have that boss fight, there's like 3 to 2 genome soldiers in there, and he's a chunky boy. He's a very massive boy. How tight are they in that fucking tank?
Very,
The answer is tight enough with oil.
Okay, they're going the Hakan way. They have to be oiled up. I guess Vulcan would be the kind of guy who, please oiled up before you get into the tank.
It's the holy machine.
Okay, so we start the fight scene, and Vulcan says in the cutscene, and this is why I said to pay attention to what it said. The cutscenes are in the boss fight. Vulcan says, and I quote, "Snakes crawl on their stomach when they meet their enemies, so crawl away from this place." So if you start the boss fight and you run head on, you will get fucked in the A by the fucking missiles that this motherfucker's shooting from the tank. However, since we are all Canadian and we should remember how we used to fight with snowballs, you can hide behind snow mountains
Yep.
and avoid the fucking tank until you get close to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how we did it.
But that's mentioned in the cutscene. You have to crawl.
Yep.
I didn't crawl. I ran. Never got shot. So you run
He's a stronger man than we are.
run all the way to the left.
Yeah, if you go to the left, he
if
doesn't
you
shoot
run
you.
fast enough, he won't get
Yeah.
you. You're right.
Well, run. There's not a run button, right?
No, but I mean,
Okay,
You can double press.
Double
What?
what?
What I mean is that you can mentally think you're running.
Ah.
Double press.
I don't believe you.
Okay.
I don't trust that
It's
statement.
not like John running when
Yeah,
he
that was
invented
a weird
running
statement.
by walking twice. It's not the same thing.
I
okay?
don't believe you.
I think he's cheating.
It's not cheating. I'm not.
He's cheating at life.
So,
Uh,
how do you guys kill the tank? Because we only have a FAMAS, a SOCOM, and
Yes.
grenades.
So
Oh, it's
probably
C4.
the same way as you. So I ran all the way up to the left. Never got. You don't get shot doing that, by
Yep.
the way. And you go behind a pillar, and then you wait for it to like be like, where is he? Where is he? And he's like looking an inch close to you,
Yeah,
and you just
give or take.
grenade. you just you just throw grenades. You just throw grenades, and I just killed him that way.
I was the crazy.
Well, not killed him, but yeah.
That's the way to do it, though. That's
Yeah.
the only way to beat it.
I was the good old soldier that didn't think for a hot second and literally ran at him and ran circle around him while chucking grenades at his cockpit and sometime landing one properly. Eventually, I got good at it, and then
done.
I
I did that as well.
yeah.
Well, you have to do it the same way as I mentioned the gun. You have to slightly press square and then press and hold square to completely throw it into the hole.
no,
It goes automatically aimed into it.
Okay, yeah, cool. The way I learned it
You didn't
was
know?
I just went back. I kind of ran and then did the direction properly and just threw the grenade, and it worked 90% of the time.
It took so long for it to throw. No.
Yeah, you can cook that grenade for a while if you want, though. Also,
No, it has time to move. The tank has time to move. This tank.
yeah, because
It's time to move.
he's
before-
under throwing it. He's not even over throwing the grenade. Snake just goes from under.
Yeah.
Like, why the fuck would you yeet a grenade from under? Just go upper, dude.
Yeah.
Have you no triceps?
Maybe
According
not.
to his physique, he has all the triceps.
He has all of it.
all of them.
So after you chuck like what it feels like 20 fucking grenades into that tank,
Yeah, pretty much, right?
you see.
Except if that's a thing I noticed.
Yeah.
Been good then.
If you throw the grenade
Example.
inside the cockpit,
Yes.
if you actually land the
yeah, that's
hole,
what I mean.
the
You have to
manhole,
land it. You can go into 5 or 6. Not
Yeah.
even.
Yeah. So my last hit was that. My last
Inside the manhole?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My last hit before I killed him. Well, beat the boss.
Yeah.
Was
you killed the tank.
I killed the tank
And the 2 genome soldiers.
and the 2 genome soldiers, but not Vulcan.
No, he's tough.
No, he's tough and he's gonna come back later.
He's a shaman.
He's
Shrapnels aren't nothing, my
so
boy.
my last hit was that, and I was wondering because like I've been doing the same amount of damage every time, and then the last one was like what, like a big fucking chunk of it. What?
Yeah, if you get it inside the cockpit, it does give you a big chunkier damage.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I like that. But I noticed it at the end. Yeah.
So at that
Wish I knew
point,
it.
you do it, and then Raven talks a bunch of bullshit. The genome soldier flies off. You get the level 3 card. Your maximum rations disposal goes from 2 into 3, so you can now carry 3 rations on you, and your life levels up, which is something I forgot to mention during the Revolver Ocelot boss fight. Your life slowly levels up as more as you do bosses.
Yeah, that's true. I just gotta say something though. The style of grenade that you use during that fight.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to be
Be anal about it. Go ahead.
I'm gonna be anal about it. If I'm not mistaken, it's exactly the same style of World War II. No, Vietnam style. The
Those are
green
Vietnam-
grenades.
Yeah, the
with
shrapnel
with-
grenades. Yeah.
They're shrapnel grenades. They actually don't pack enough of a punch to do anything to a tank. So technically, what you should have used, which was my first reflex, mind you, because I died a couple of times doing that boss,
Obviously.
trying out some stuff.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know how to aim apparently. I put down claymores. Because how you
Oh,
destroy
the
real
threads,
tanks in
yeah.
real life is you destroy the threads, and then that thing can't move, and then it's a sitting duck.
Yeah, no, you're thinking as a 2022 gamer.
Again, the same thing as Pascal looking at the floppy disk to look at a code.
Yeah.
You were doing the 2022 gamer, which is warrior tanks of actually putting shrapnel to destroy the rails.
Yeah, fair.
Which again, it's fair, but I
That's how they used stick grenades in the Second World War and during Valve. Since tanks were invented, small handheld explosives
Again-
were meant to destroy the threads
again
or the gas tank.
Metal Gear. It's the JoJo to Army histories.
Yes.
It's also
Like
old.
if Tom Clancy is Fist of the North Star, Metal Gear is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Wait,
Yeah,
who
Season
the
1.
fuck is telling people Tom Clancy is Fist of the North Star?
Meaning that it's so serious up the ass you don't think about doubting it.
All right, then I won't think about that.
There you go.
I just
So-
think about it.
So you get you get the life bar, you get keycard level 3, and you get your max rations up, and then you go inside nuke building level 1.
By the way, I want to say I like that. I like the
Life progression.
Yeah.
The level up after bosses is fantastic.
Satisfying.
Yeah,
isn't
I
it?
did not notice it until boss 2, but loved it. Like I was like, oh, could I always get 3 rations? Yeah, probably.
I noticed the rations and the item caps, and then my brain was like, I died
Numbers
so
go up.
fast. No, I didn't notice the HP until I beat the helicopter.
Oh wow.
And at that point, it was such a massive difference. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh god.
It was like so much more.
Yeah, but the thing is, okay, so once again, I'm gonna go back to Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, the GameCube remake. In Metal Gear Twin Snakes, you start the game with your full life bar completed. No boss fight, no nothing. Your life is full on.
Full frontal life bar.
Full frontal. So you fight Revolver with the full life. So you cannot move and shoot
with FPS controls.
with FPS controls.
God damn it.
It is a problematic mess when you think about it on long term. So once we get inside the new building, you get a codec call from Naomi and from Colonel Campbell saying this is where we dispose all the dead warheads because of the SALT Treaty of number 2 back in 1999 and all the Cold War. So Snake, fuck you, you can't use your weapons here. Don't worry, Colonel, I desactivated his nanomachines, he can't use a weapon. Fuck you. But the enemies can.
Yep.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't give no shits. They don't value their lives like you do, apparently.
And they have 180 HQ.
Yep.
IQ.
Wait, every genome soldier?
Every genome soldier.
Oh,
It is mentioned in the briefing.
Okay, so when you said that, I thought you meant the bosses.
Foxhound, no, they didn't get tested. It's only the genome soldiers.
Okay, so I misunderstood so
But that's
much.
even worse when you think about it.
Yeah, it is.
It's most likely the reason why the boss people are making it so far is that they're expecting them to be master tacticians and geniuses. But as you said, they'll repeat the last 3 words of what you said, get the general gist of what needs to be done, and then they're just going to be madman at what they do.
And that's the special unit Foxhound. It's mostly made of that. Those are the black secret ops people we send. Thank you, taxpayer money. Thank you.
Marvelous. I absolutely love it.
So,
Me too.
and that is the only moment, if you haven't called her before, that the game will force you to call Natasha Romanenko, which is 141.52.
Wait, force you? I thought you said you didn't have to.
That is the only single time the call will be made.
Oh, okay.
After that, you never
She's
call her
the
unless you know
nuke
what.
specialist, and you just walked in a nuke warehouse. She's
So
got to
what?
be relevant somehow.
I mean, I called her many times.
True.
Before that. time,
true.
So I
I
didn't know.
started calling her after that.
Yeah, because you know who she is, and she's in your contacts, and she's part of your top 5 plan in Verizon department, so you're good to go.
Yeah.
Infinite minutes with her.
Oh my god. Can we talk about her for a second?
Yeah, sure. I love her. I like her.
I fucking love Natasha Romanovsky? Romanov?
Romanenko.
Romanenko. Sorry, that was kind of. But yeah, Natasha, fucking amazing person.
Oh, sorry, it's Nastasha.
I
Nastasha.
did not.
Nastasha
Okay,
Romanenko.
so I feel bad now.
No, me too.
There's no A.
No, it's Nastasha.
It's not like
Nastasha.
there's an S. That's
Nastasha.
yeah.
I thought it was Anastasia.
Yeah,
Oh,
there
really?
you go. That's we're all fucking up our names, but from my notes,
any
it's
case.
Nastasha.
So
From my notes, there's an A.
like for any fucking like gear problem or gear like wondering problem or whatever the fuck, she's there. Like you're wondering something about an item, she's gonna help
Yeah.
you with it.
Yeah.
I fucking love that.
But
Or a boss. Like I never I never had to call her, but I did at some point just to like,
figure it out.
maybe there's something I missed that would make the fight easier for me, because I died at every fight, obviously, because I'm a Nintendo gamer.
Yeah. You're a
It's
Nintendo
fine.
boy.
I'm a Nintendo boy. Yeah, no, but that's easier games. It's, all right. That's right.
It's fine.
I'm ass
played
at
Mario my
platform.
whole
I'm ass at platformers, so they're not easier games for me.
I'm okay at platformers. That's not my point. In any case, love that woman with all my heart.
Yeah, probably one of my favorite codec characters after Mega Ling.
Yeah. Also,
Because-
very good voice.
Yeah, because if you contact Mei Ling, you get Chinese proverbs every time or so.
Yeah, I was about to say that. It's like, come on. Every single time she opens her mouth,
Yeah.
she's basically a fortune cookie. And to be completely honest, Snake wants to eat her
Yes.
the same way anyway.
yeah,
Crack
yeah,
her
yeah,
open,
yeah.
get some wisdom. I don't know.
Yeah, you fortune cookies. You just
Yeah.
spread it open and you lick the paper out.
Exactly.
Oh,
You can, or you can do like me. You just smash the shit out of it on the table and just go for it. I mean, the
Whatever
fortune
works.
cookie. So, once you get into the nuke level place, you go on the left.
before you go. on,
Yes.
Did you ever skip mailing?
What do you mean?
Oh, I know what he's saying. Yes.
Did you ever skip mailings?
Dialogues?
Proverbs, yeah.
I don't think I did.
Lies.
I honestly don't think I did. Every single time a character talks,
Okay, I believe you now.
I just leave them talking till the end.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
didn't even know there was a skip
Oh,
button.
okay. I thought you were. Okay, no. I meant.
There is.
I thought you were gonna tell me you found the Easter egg that whenever you call Mei Ling and you don't save, so you always have the option to save or don't save.
Never save.
If you go to the option and say don't save and you do it 3 to 5 times,
Yeah.
next time you call Mei Ling, she won't give you the option to save. She will say nothing, and then she will pull out her tongue to you, like, and you hang up.
Okay, because she feels like you're not valuing her work.
Yeah. So
No, for me, I
like
discovered about the saving mechanic. Basically in front of. I was right about to start the fight of Psychomantis.
No fucking
That's too
shot.
late.
I had
That's
not
too late.
saved
No.
a single time.
Okay, so you never spoke to mailing before?
Nope.
Maybe once.
well, the
Yeah.
Silicon Radar story and when
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
relevant.
But then, nothing.
The reason why is because I didn't know that there was the, favorites.
Your favorite.
So you never heard like
I didn't know if I
can't use
just
the
pre-
Socon Raider in spaces to.
Well,
like-
unless
No,
it
that you
forces you,
hear
when
it.
it's forcing the
it's
codec.
forcing. You
Oh,
get a
it's
bunch of
first?
calls.
But I heard it multiple times.
No, but there's a couple times where the codec will blast red on your screen. You have to press select.
Yeah,
So
which
that's,
is
that's plot relevant stuff.
which I always answer the codec.
But he didn't personally call her. That's
Yeah.
what I'm understanding.
That's the biggest difference.
Yeah.
And because of that, I was like, how do you save this game? So it's just I was refusing to close the console because I don't
That's
think it
why.
over
I was
saves.
Yeah, I
trying to
was
understand why the
wondering
fuck
as
he wasn't
well.
turning off the console. Okay, because he didn't know how to fucking save.
Yeah, and now I save and still don't turn off the console.
Yeah, that's a you problem.
That's a
Before
me
that,
problem,
yeah,
but it's also because it's not running in a CD. It's on solid state, and it's fine.
to a certain extent, I guess. Yeah.
It's definitely on solid state.
Yeah, it has to. Right.
It's
On the
not
mini,
SSD.
There's no fucking way. There's no fucking way. So yeah, once inside the new level 1, you go to the left, which is the easiest. If you don't go for any sort of item or anything, you avoid the alien-looking guys in the yellow suits for the hazmat suit. Even though they're gonna shoot you, they don't care. You go into the elevator and you head down to nuke basement level 1.
True.
So in that one, you will find the main room, which most likely has a few doors on the side and an open area in the middle. So there's like 4 doors, 2 on the side, 2 on the other side, and you see 2 bathrooms when you get there.
Yeah.
Oh,
You have the man and the
Yeah,
woman's
it's
bathroom.
the office with the 2 bathrooms.
It's the only place that looks like a fucking office in that building.
Oh yeah, big time.
Ironically enough.
Yeah.
Because we'll get to that one later. There's one area in an office that makes no sense to be the way it's made. Why would you have an office like that?
I don't know, because they're sadists.
You mean the boss is?
No, the basement level 2 of the nuke building. We'll get to it.
Okay.
Don't worry about it. So once you get there, you just look around, and the guy on the man's bathroom, if you go there, he's an infinite spawn for rations. So you can always go behind him, strangle him, and then just take the ration. Every time you go there, he will always respawn for an easy ration.
So I have a thing I have to say.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do any of the training, I didn't know that you could CQC takedown.
Strangle people.
I don't know. Okay, I need to get this out there.
How did you figure that one out?
Figure that what?
Strangle people.
Oh, that's not what I was getting to.
Okay.
What I was getting to is, I never knew how to get behind people stealthily and then strangle them. I only strangle them whenever I fucking beat the shit out of them. They're on the ground
And they get up.
and they get up and I.
Because that's the thing. You have your basic vanilla combo 1, 2, 3 kick with circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have your grab, hold, and grab and choke with square.
Yeah.
So I guess the question was never asked to me during the chat.
No, I guess not.
I just assumed that you guys figured it out somehow.
My whole mentality about this game, and it's coming a lot from Splinter Cell and also the 5th game in the series that I've played quite a bit, and maybe I guess Hitman. I never was a big fan of just getting caught, and if I can't figure out how to take down the person stealthily, then I'll just don't get caught. So I didn't learn the fighting mechanic.
All right,
because I just avoid getting caught.
fair enough.
Yeah. Well, I did just kill people, but
It's part of
Same.
the operation stealth mission. I mean, you have to kill people.
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, but same.
Yeah, it's the only Metal Gear that you need to kill people from the Solid series, as I understand it.
Yeah. The Metal Gear Solid 1 would be the only one where you can actually play the
play
game without killing people. But
pacifist?
it's
That's
kinda
on the GameCube version.
You can
because
play the
the-
pacifist?
No, Metal Gear Solid 1, you can actually... There's a specific rank that you can get if you kill the less people as possible. And you have to...
Okay.
don't have to go over 11. There's a reason why you can't go over 11, plot-wise.
Is there a neutral or chaotic?
There's one part in the game that I
ending?
refuse you can do without killing people.
There's a specific part. Yeah, you're right. But,
I mean, 2.
well,
I guess.
already, we can talk about this one. The Meryl section, if you do nothing and just avoid the bullets, Meryl will take care of the room herself.
Okay, so there's that.
So there's that room. But...
And then there's the tower, which we'll get later.
Yeah, we'll get later on that. Yeah, you're correct. So,
Yeah.
as it is, we get inside basement nuke level 2, and you get called by your good old friend and favorite character of Pascal, Deep Throat. So,
Not.
Deep Throat tells you that, careful, Snake, the floor is electrified in there. So, the most rational thing to do, get a fucking missile launcher. That's the only way to do this, right?
With remote-controlled missiles.
Which is called...
The Nikita.
There you go. The Nikita Missile Rocket Launcher.
Yep.
Good thing I had someone in my middle school called that.
Nikita?
Yeah.
I mean, the other one
Nikita
is a
missile
Stinger,
launcher?
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Nikita something.
No, the missile launcher, the Stinger has to lock on into something.
Yeah, I know.
The Nikita, you just have to fuck around with it.
I know.
So, tell me, where do you find the Nikita launcher?
In the armory. Was it not?
You can go into the armory. Yes, you can backtrack all the way to the armory. Or
No, I got it there first, no?
You can't because you don't have the key.
Okay, so where did I get it? Tell me.
So that's the thing. You can go to the armory because you can find it there. Or you can go into the basement level 1 floor and go into one of the rooms office where someone has just a
Oh.
Nikita lying around in their
Yeah.
office.
I did both.
Yeah, you told...
Yeah.
Yeah, so I asked you about that.
Yeah.
And you told me, oh, did you check the other floors? And
Yeah,
yeah,
just check the whole building.
Yeah, true.
But I got the Nikita rockets from the armory way later on.
Yeah. Yeah. the
Due to a
rockets.
plot thing that made me go, oh, fuck you.
Yeah, I know. Where you're going. No, I know where he's mentioning about the plot thing. So, once you have the Nikita and you're armed, you're good to go for the P2 again. You go inside the hall, which is filled to burst like a condom with poison gas.
Yep.
And you have to shoot the missile and to get there. And then suddenly, while you're driving the missile, you find your good old buddy's cameras with guns.
Yep.
So you have to outrun the guns and get to the main generator, and boom goes the electrified floor.
That was the first time for me that I saw those cameras, by the way. I don't know if that's weird.
That would be the first time if you didn't find that hidden room.
That would be the first time if you didn't know. No, I actually know it's weird because if he's at the tank hangar level 1 and he's going from the second floor of the vents and going down to reach the tanks, he has to see a camera there. And also, if he went to the second floor from the
Camera
outside,
with gun.
Yeah, camera with guns.
With guns, yeah, that would
Yeah,
be the
yeah,
first time.
that
would
would-
be the first
that
time.
was what I
Yes,
meant, yeah.
Yes, okay. So that would be the first time, and once you destroy it, you have access to the office area that is filled to brim again with poison gas and electrified floors.
But there's a reason.
What kind of work
for
office is that?
It's terrible.
The best.
I mean, it would boost like working morale. But we don't talk about ethics.
Okay, people, you don't do overtime after 7. The floor is electrified and filled with gas.
Yeah. Get your shit done, otherwise you get poisoned.
I
And die.
But it comes from a Japanese company. You would think they would want overtime.
That's not the point. They want efficiency.
It's the 80s.
Slash,
The 90s,
yeah,
actually.
it's coming from a
90s.
Japanese company
Thinking about how Americans work.
yeah.
Okay, fair.
American ethics post Cold War. Come on.
Okay, fine. I get it. So you clear out the room. You have destroyed the electric field floor. It's still poisoned to brim. So when you get in there, you see a little breathing bar underneath your life bar.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so if you are OCD like our good old friend here, Paco, you pick up your key card and start blasting to every single fucking room you can actually open yourself.
Yes, but I was smart. I got a gas mask.
The gas mask is the last room before you hit the corridor, and you will find the gas mask.
Yep.
Now, the thing is that when you have the gas mask on, you have to equip the card separately, remove the mask,
Yeah.
then back and forth.
Yeah, that whole fucking shtick. Yeah.
Because,
Because
gonna
he's
be-
holding the mask with his hand, clearly.
well, maybe the strap don't fit, but
The strap
still,
don't fit.
It's stupid because you can still use a gun with two hands.
Well, actually, fun fact, I think that's what the book actually says. It says that the strap does not fit Snake, therefore he has to use one single hand to hold
Okay,
it.
but you
but the
can,
thing
you
is,
can
you can
use the
still use
FAMAS.
the FAMAS and the Nikita.
Unless he uses the FAMAS like this,
Again,
which could be, I guess.
the book is not bread and butter. The book is not canon lore as well, because there's a
Yeah.
lot of shit in there that's really weird. It's written by one of the authors of the James Bond books, novelizations.
Okay.
And there's a lot of scenes where Snake is like, I'm thinking about Meryl sexually. And you're like, what the fuck?
I mean, he does, but that's not
But
the
not
point.
not like the horn dog that he is in that book.
Yeah.
And he even wants to fuck Nastasha and Mei Ling and all that. It's really creepy.
Well, he
But,
does
I mean,
want to
he
fuck
does.
Mei Ling.
It's written by a guy who wrote James Bond books.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, literally, in the game,
Yeah, I thought. Yeah.
every single time he talks / sees, because it's not clear about the codec, a woman, he's like,
He is a horn dog.
oh
I-
my god, may I
don't-
put my professionalism inside you?
I don't think he did that for Natasha or Nastasha.
He respects her.
He probably did that for Naomi.
He
No.
does later on in the game where he talks about the whole concept of love and the fact that she's also feeling the same thing
Yeah,
about
she's
family.
divorced. and all
Oh
that.
yeah,
Yeah,
at
she
the
mentions
end,
her
at the end,
divorce.
right?
And then at that point, it kind of gets at some point a bit sexually charged, and then it gets dismissed.
But he,
Dismissed, yeah.
but he did that for Mei Ling a lot, and he was always asking for more information about her life.
Actually-
and she was refusing at first,
Yeah.
and then she leaned into it.
Well, actually, you remind me also, he did it for Naomi. Because during the
did.
briefing, he's buck naked, like I mentioned.
oh yeah,
So he gets stripped down, he gets injected, and I think during the opening before the Sultan radar, she says, well, if you come back safely, you can do a body search on me. And he's like, I'll hold you to that, Doc. So he does, go for every single girl on the team somehow.
Yep.
And, it's... Again, I don't want to... It's the way the action hero was written in the 90s, which is basically how Kojima perceives his character. And also, it was the goddamn 90s, man.
I'm aware.
Oh yeah, no, I was aware of that, and I was like, okay, it's fucking Die Hard.
I mean, it doesn't
Let's go.
excuse it, but it's the way it was the
Yeah.
style at the time. It's sad to say, but it
Look,
was the style at the time.
It's part of the whole experience of dealing with action heroes of the time, for sure. That goes without saying.
yeah.
But I think the only character he didn't try to hit on violently when it came to women was Sniper Wolf.
That and
That-
Nastasha, for real.
Yeah, the only two Russian-sounding characters. Again, is it related to the Cold War? We don't know.
Oh fuck,
It
is
could.
I don't.
It totally could, because he was involved during the Cold War and a lot of military
and again,
actions.
we can also check later on once we get to Sniper Wolf, especially in part 2, because part 2 of the boss fight. I mean, because there's a lot of here we can dissect on that part. So
Yeah.
to go back to our things, once we have cleared up the room, we have checked up our thing, picked up our gas mask, we go inside the corridor hall, and then we see a butchering in the hallway leading to Dr. Emmerich's.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. Okay. Did I take a photo? Yes, I did.
It is.
Awesome.
It is fantastic.
Oh, yeah, it's
Like,
fantastic.
I loved the fucking
It's
shots.
probably one of the moodiest scene of the
Yes.
entire game.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I'm looking at the photos I took right now.
Yeah.
I just want to make a quick quip.
Addendum, I guess, yeah.
Yeah. So did you try to go full crouch on a staircase?
I did.
Yeah.
You did.
I did.
So you saw this?
Oh, boy. No, I didn't see this.
No. Okay.
I haven't passed yet.
Okay. So for
He man
people
spreads
who are
so
listening
bad.
right now,
Yeah.
I am referring to whenever you go up a staircase when you're crouched, you will sit on the first fucking
Yeah,
on the first step and then just pose.
Oh my god.
I loved it.
which is amazing because it's a small detail you would not think in those kind of
Yeah.
games.
Yeah. Anyway, that was what I wanted to say.
So you see the hallway, the ninja or the ghost at this point, which people are calling when they're hearing him. There's a bunch of noise, weird, fucked up static going in the background, and then the office door is open. It's a level 5, but it's slashed open so you can get in.
Yep.
You get inside of there, and then you see the ninja, now fully discovered, attacking Dr. Emmerich. Now, Dr. Emmerich is in a position of weakness. He's on the ground, and he's screaming like a little bitch because he will get stabbed like any normal person getting threatened by a katana.
And I think the game goes out of its way to point out the fact that he pisses himself.
And that's the part next to it. He starts pissing himself.
Did not see that.
Yeah, and I quote here, Dr. Emmerich pisses himself, an anime fight ensues. And this is the quote where Otacon says, "It's like one of my Japanese animes."
Yep.
Yep. And that's where I wrote Emmerich is a fucking mecha weeb.
And that is
That is
Very,
so true.
very hitting on the point because this
Isn't
is...
he a huge fan of
Gundam.
Police Knot?
He's a huge fan of Police Knot. And that is
Oh,
what we
Police
will
Knot.
see once we
Oh
finish the
wait.
boss fight.
So Police Knot is basically Gundam.
No.
No.
Wait, what did I
Police Knot
see then?
Is
That's
the
Police-
video game that
It looked like
Kojima made back
Look,
in the days.
Police
like
Knot,
Gundam.
It
okay,
goes-
Police Knot is Lethal Weapon, but with mechas.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, it's actually just that.
Yeah.
that's
It's a police who got the
love
training of
that.
an astronaut, so he can do police stuff in space.
Yeah.
That's how stupid it is. It's a point and click adventure game.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's
okay.
Point and click, yeah. No,
Snatcher
point
was
is
good.
fine, yeah.
Snatcher was pretty good. For the
I kind of like point and click. It reminds me of old Newgrounds. I like that.
yeah, well, there's not that much porn in that one though.
I'm
Unlike
not talking
Newgrounds.
about the porn.
Well, I
point
know
and
you're a
click.
fan of Zone. I'm
not
just
talking
saying,
about the.
I just know.
Okay, so I was very young. I'm
We
not
were
talking.
all young. Okay. So either way, Emmerich is pissing himself. The cyborg ninja looks at you and he's like, "Yes, we can finally have a fucking fight." Emmerich pussies out into the locker room, and he goes, "Good. The good old doctor can leave us to our fight.
Yep.
So let's fight, Snake." So we get to our third boss fight, the cyborg ninja. What did you guys do for this motherfucker?
I did every single option offered to me until I decided to beat it, I think, the way it's supposed to be beaten.
Which is
Fisticuffs.
Yep. Hand-to-hand combat.
the true way to fight.
A cyborg.
The,
What the
the
fuck?
true warrior's way.
The clash of bone and
Okay,
sinew.
so my first thought, and I paused the game for this, was a hand-to-hand fight against a cyborg? What the fuck do you mean?
You do like me. You do my ultimate technique that I always do. Punch kick the nuts. Never
Punch,
stop.
kick
Punch
the
kick
nuts.
the balls.
Yeah.
Even if the combo does not connect, do the full combo because eventually he will eat that foot in his mouth.
Yep.
Yep.
And I died many, many times against this boss because of his weird movement and
Yeah.
how to avoid the flying goddamn kicks.
I think you mentioned, I think that would be in phase 3 when he's phase shifting. When he's coming at
No.
you, you punch
Oh,
him.
no,
No,
that
no,
was
no, no,
easier
no.
for me.
Okay.
Because that was like a rhythm game.
Yeah.
But that's the directional padding where you can actually move quick enough.
I did
Yeah.
not do that. I just did. Okay, so
But
we're
I get what
not
you
there
mean.
yet, right? But
Whoa, it's his face.
Okay,
He has
so for that
4
phase-
phases in this battle.
yeah, I know.
so for that phase, for the phase that he appears in one side,
Yeah, so phase 1, punches balls in.
punching
Yeah,
ball.
punch
Easy
him,
enough.
And
Yeah,
he
yeah.
goes like, "You're
Yeah.
right. I'll drop my sword."
Phase 2, hide and seek. Discover where the fuck I am in this room.
Mm-hmm.
No. There's phase 1 where he has his sword, and then you gotta figure out what the fuck you need to do.
Yeah,
Then there's phase 2 where he actually fights you legit.
But that's
But
part
the
of it.
thing is, he does flips and shit.
Yeah.
And I did not
He
understand.
drops
that-
kicks you on.
Yeah, I did not understand that the actual strat to beat him was as easy as go around the office desk. When he jumps next to you, he's a sitting duck.
Yes.
I was dodging his attacks.
I dodged them all the way through.
I died many times
I
because
did
every now and
as well.
again he would just appear out of nowhere.
Well, in the face shifting, you can also just crouch. You can crawl when he's doing a kick.
What?
That huge punch, he just goes bang.
Yeah.
You can just crawl on the floor and avoid it.
Cool.
Together.
I would walk behind him and just punch him real hard.
No fucking shot.
Yeah. You can
I
actually
wish
just
I
avoid
could
him.
strangle him, but I didn't even know I was a mechanic.
Yeah, well, you can.
I don't.
You know
He
what?
would like it.
You know what? Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
be honest, this
Okay.
guy is real deep
That's
into
around-
some real BDSM, and I understand. This man was transformed against his will into a cyborg, and he doesn't feel jack shit anymore.
Okay, just wait until we finish the boss fight so we can talk about that, though. So, yeah. So, phase 1, punch balls. Phase 2, no weapon, hide and seek, whatever. Phase 3, phase shifting. And ultimate phase, CBT levels of bullshit with Powerade circle around him.
Yep.
And just screaming and shouting insanities in English and Japanese because
Yep.
it makes no fucking sense. So at that point, you can chafe him and just empty your load of FAMAS on him. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yep.
Because if you try to fist him, you'll get hurt.
Oh, you'll get dead.
You'll get dead. Yeah. So give up. You can also just chafe him during the fight because he's a cyborg,
Yeah, that was my first thought.
and it works for a couple times until he goes "fuck you."
Yeah. So I actually that was my first thought.
And you know what? That's the greatest thought you could have had.
Yep.
It was great.
So I stopped doing that and I start fist fighting him, and then at some point he was like shifting or whatever. the
Face
fuck.
shifting, yeah.
No, not that one. Like he was appearing somewhere. He was invisible.
Yeah, that's what I call
So-
the hide and seek phase.
Yeah, hide and seek. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when I shaved.
Okay. Yeah. Smart.
So
Yeah, that could
so
work.
I heard where he was because 3D sounding.
Yeah.
Sounding. Yeah.
Yeah. 3D sounding, yes.
Uh-huh.
And so I
3D
went
sounding.
to that area and then kick his ass.
Yeah. So once we have completed the destruction, motherfucker goes insane. Hurt me more, dog. Screams, hits his head on the floor, starts screaming gibberish, jumps around, and fucks off the edge of the room.
Wait, before that, I need to say, I basically killed him. I basically killed him at some point.
Yeah.
The fight was almost ended,
Yeah.
and he did his burst of energy, and then I died,
Yeah, it happened to me too.
Yep.
and so I was frustrated.
So the thing is that during your boss fights, and now at this point it would be the third main boss fight. Did you guys ever equip your rations during the fight? Because you know
Yes.
that when you deplete to 0, it automatically uses.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yep.
Okay.
And sometimes I forgot.
And
No, that's fair. That's fair.
I have to say something about this, and this will be extremely relevant later on in this game playthrough. Most items that you would equip and that you would use, such as thermal glasses or mine detector or whatever you want, as long as they're in your hand, they work by themselves.
Yes.
And rations do technically the same thing.
I think I know you.
And then there's some drugs you get later on.
Mm-hmm.
They get multiple of.
Mm-hmm.
And I never figured out that you could just use the item in my pockets. Because since I didn't play the holographic tutorial,
There you are.
I did not get the VR
Oh
explanation.
wait, so you
as to
didn't
how
use
to
the
use-
anxiety pills?
Okay, we're not there yet. Whoa, we're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
But
Oh.
holy fuck, this is interesting.
Yep.
Oh, this is gonna be painful. Okay, but yeah, okay.
I didn't as well for the first one.
So we finished the fight with the ninja. He fucks off, and then by pure premonition, because of getting his face fisted in, Snake calls the colonel and goes, "Gray Fox." What? That was Gray Fox. But he died. No, he didn't. Nah, son, I remember that fisting. No one fists is like Gray Fox.
That's true. He does mention the fact of how he hits is the reason why he recognized him. Because he's beyond recognition at this point.
There's no way you can know that's him.
Oh my god.
And so suddenly, Naomi goes, "Oh yeah, that is Gray Fox." What? Yeah, he was kidnapped and revived as a biocorpse by Dr. Clark, which gave him the skeleton, and he is one of the first genome therapy soldiers.
And then fucking Snake's like, when the fuck were you gonna tell me that my best friend is a fucking zombie cyborg?
Filled to brim of Big Boss's cells.
Yeah.
Because it's from cyborgs.
It's come at this point, right?
we could say it's Big Boss's calm because it makes no sense.
Look,
There's so much of it.
the man's
so
burn.
much
Like I
of
said, he's filled to burst with the man's cells.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is a fact.
So the thing is that he is the one that his DNA has been used to create the genome soldiers. Without him, you have no. He's K0. He is the main guy. And then when he woke up to justice, he exploded Dr. Clark's lab and fucked off.
Okay, I'm gonna say something that's extremely ignorant, and it might bite me in the ass, but I want to put it now so that I have record of it.
Yes.
I knew about this guy's existence, but I always kind of figured that he's just Raiden.
No,
Who?
he's not Raiden.
But
not
he
Raiden.
could be.
Wait, you
No,
mean
that's-
Mortal Kombat?
No, a character that you will learn about.
Oh, okay.
Eventually.
All right,
Eventually.
fair enough.
No, because that's part of the sort of lore of the Metal Gears that you do have to have a cyborg at least once.
Okay,
And that's all I can say. So
so we got our cyborg.
that's our cyborg right now. That's Cyber Ninja. AKA now we can say it, Gray Fox.
Okay.
So the way Gray Fox worked in his last boss fight in Metal Gear 2, just to give you a reference, is that you fight him in a minefield, no weapons, and you have to fist fight him to the death.
Noise.
That's how you kill Gray Fox in the original game.
Can we talk about how Snake knows Gray Fox, right?
That's what I mentioned.
We
yeah.
can, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, that's what I wanted to know. From what you guys know, which is absolutely nothing at this point, who the fuck is Gray Fox?
Griffith. He's Griffith.
No. Fuck no.
Griffith did nothing wrong.
Neither. That's not what I know. Dio did nothing wrong.
Both.
No.
They're misunderstood heroes.
Dio, yes.
Heroes.
Dio is the main character of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
He
Griffith
kinda
had to
is,
make
yeah.
great sacrifice to gain great power to fix the world. Deal with it.
In any case, I think Gray Fox is Griffith.
No, he's not.
And
No.
you don't have to agree.
I have to tell you you're wrong. Because that's not what he is.
Okay, so I did not watch Berserk in its entirety.
Yes, you did. But the Gray Fox is not Griffin.
No, I watched, You're
strawmanning here.
I
It's
did not
one-
watch 2016
A and B
Berserk.
does not conclude C. It's not what's happening here.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. Because Gray Fox was the
No,
pupil of Big Boss.
No. I was about to say who the fuck he was. But ultimately, at this point in the story, yeah, he just says, holy shit, he's still alive. Why is he still alive? Oh my god, why is he a cyborg? And then they're like, yeah, that Dr. Bright over there made him Mega Man. And then you're like, but why is he
Yeah.
like this? And it's like, because
He's
Mega
Mega
Man's
Man.
got no skin, so he doesn't feel shit.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, but you shouldn't have fucking done that. And it's like, yeah, but how did he end up dead? It's like, oh, I shot him.
I killed him.
And then you're like, but wasn't he like your best friend? It's like, yeah, he had another contract. We were on the opposite side, and I just shot him. Nothing personal.
But that's a thing that grunts, especially in Metal Gear, tend to live as an honor code, is that you're probably friends today, but tomorrow you will be enemies in the battlefield.
Yeah.
And that's something that is very, very concurrent in every Metal Gear, and to an extreme extent, Metal Gear Solid 3. But again, we're not going to talk about that right now. But it is a fact known that tomorrow today's friends will be enemies tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's the conscious thing that happens in Metal Gear most of the time, and that's what happened with Big Boss, who was his commanding officer in Metal Gear 1, betrayed him to kill him. That's when Gray Fox with Big Boss tried to kill him in Metal Gear 2. It's always that. Is that at some point there's no such thing as a permanent enemy or as a permanent friend in the army, according to Metal Gear. So it is what it is. It's its own lore. We can expand on it in a few other games if we ever play them, but it's not. And the first one is just not as deep as it is. He recognizes Gray Fox because he feels good. That's it. That's all.
He fists good.
And in the lore, he's like one of his best friends, a war veteran with him. They both learned through Master Miller's training and Big Boss's training, and they were the best they could offer in that particular area. So he considered Gray Fox as a best friend and also like a big brother of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
So a brother in arms. That's it. So then once that's completed, we figure out that Naomi's kind of sus, even very fucking sus of not giving us that kind of information. So Colonel could not have lied to you because he didn't have that info. Naomi had it. When the fuck was he gonna say that that was Gray Fox? We don't know. If you like this video, go fuck yourself. Unlike, unsubscribe, and please don't come back.